decipher what is right and wrong, and they will definitely vote for the India Alliance. Sir, to conclude, I would like to quote Dr. Ambedkar. One moment, sir. On 4th November 1948, Dr. Ambedkar, having introduced a draft report in the Constituent Assembly with modification, stated that this constitution, it is workable, it is flexible, and it is strong enough to hold the country together both in peace time and in war time. Indeed, if I may say so, if things go wrong under the new constitution, the reason will not be that we had a bad constitution. What will we will have to say is that man was vile. So I would unquote. So I would, through you, sir, humbly request the lawmakers that whenever they amend our constitution, they should remember this statement of our dear Dr. Ambedkar, that it should reap the fruits quickly so as to be enjoyed in time. Sir, this bill should be implemented as quickly as possible before this commencement of this 24 elections. If implemented soon, it may be a small step for a woman, but a giant leap for womankind. Thank you very much, sir.
Very good. Thank you very much. Next speaker now, the Honorable Minister, Srimati Anupriya Patel ji would like to intervene in the debate.
धन्यवाद सभापति महोदय। संसद के इस विशेष सत्र में जहां एक और आज हम अपनी 96 वर्ष पुरानी संसद भवन को, जिसे अब संविधान सदन कहा जाएगा, उसे पीछे छोड़कर नए संसद भवन में प्रवेश कर चुके हैं, वहीं दूसरी ओर इस नए संसद भवन में अपनी पहले ही दिन हमने विधायी कार्य की शुरुआत करते हुए नारी शक्ति को सही मायनों में नमन करने का काम किया है। 128वां संविधान संशोधन विधेयक जो महिला आरक्षण विधेयक सरकार लेकर आई है, इसकी मैं तहे दिल से सराहना करती हूँ। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को इसके लिए आभार व्यक्त करती हूँ और ये सही मायनों में हम सब के लिए
Please let the house be in order, please. Please.
सभापति महोदय, भारत दुनिया का सबसे ज्यादा आबादी वाला देश है और 142 करोड़ की आबादी में 70 करोड़ की आबादी महिलाओं की है। लेकिन बहुत चिंताजनक और दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है कि आज भी हमारे लोकसभा में जो महिलाओं की भागीदारी है वो महज 14% है और राज्यसभा में केवल 11% है। इंटर पार्लियामेंट्री यूनियन की एक रिसर्च हुई जिसमें निचले सदन में महिलाओं की भागीदारी का आंकड़ा देखा गया 193 देशों में, जिसमें भारत की रैंकिंग 149 है, यानी 149 है। और ग्लोबल जेंडर गैप रिपोर्ट 2022 में भी 146 देशों में जो भारत की रैंकिंग है वो 135वीं है। ये कोई बहुत एनकरेजिंग आंकड़ा नहीं है हमारे लिए। और सरकार के तमाम आर्थिक सर्वेक्षण भी बताते हैं कि हमारे राज्य की विधानसभाओं से लेकर हमारे देश की लोकसभा में, देश की संसद में महिलाओं की भागीदारी बहुत कम है और इसलिए महिला आरक्षण विधेयक समय की ज़रूरत है। और आज ये बड़े दुख की बात है कि छोटे छोटे देश यूएई, क्यूबा, रुआंडा, मेक्सिको, निकारागुआ, न्यूजीलैंड, ये वो देश हैं जिन्होंने 50% तक महिलाओं की भागीदारी अपने डेमोक्रेसी में सुनिश्चित कर ली है। और भारत जो कहता है कि दुनिया के सबसे बड़ा लोकतंत्र है, हम अपने यहाँ 50% की अभी तक भागीदारी सुनिश्चित नहीं कर पाए हैं। तो उस दिशा में ये एक महत्वपूर्ण कदम है। और बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर ने कहा था कि पॉलिटिकल पावर इज द की टू सोशल प्रोग्रेस। हमने देखा है कि हमने अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज़ में, पंचायती राज संस्थाओं में जब अपने देश की महिलाओं को भागीदारी दी तो हमारी महिलाओं ने ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में, शहरी क्षेत्रों में कितना उल्लेखनीय कार्य करके दिखाया है। और जहाँ तक मोदी जी की सरकार की बात है तो हमारी सरकार विमेन लेड डेवलपमेंट की बात करती है, यानी कि महिलाएं आगे बढ़ के कैसे देश का नेतृत्व करें, इसकी बात हम करते हैं। तो इसलिए ज़रूरी है कि जो टॉप मोस्ट डिसीजन मेकिंग है हमारे देश के अंदर, हमारे लेजिस्लेटिव प्रोसेस में और हमारे इन इंस्टीट्यूशंस में हमारी महिलाओं को लाना बेहद ज़रूरी है। और उस दृष्टि से ये बिल बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। अध्यक्ष जी, ये बिल नया नहीं है, ये बिल पुराना है, इसका इतिहास 27 वर्ष लंबा है। हमने देखा कि 1996 में सबसे पहले एच.डी. देवेगौड़ा जी की सरकार इस बिल को लेकर आई थी और उसके बाद तमाम लोगों ने प्रयास किए, तमाम पार्टीज़ ने, सरकारों ने। 97, 98, 99, 2003 में वाजपेयी जी की एनडीए की सरकार ने प्रयास किया। 2008 और 2010 में यूपीए की सरकार ने प्रयास किया, लेकिन कोई भी सरकार इसे एक लॉजिकल कंक्लूजन तक ले जाने में सफल नहीं हुई। सभी सरकारों ने विफलता का ही सामने किया। उस दृष्टि से मुझे बहुत प्रसन्नता है कि मोदी जी के नेतृत्व की सरकार जब इस विधेयक को लेकर आई है तो हम इसे सफलता तक, अंजाम तक पहुंचाने का काम इस बार करके दिखाएंगे। मैंने विपक्ष के साथियों की चर्चाओं को सुना, उसमें कई विषय सामने आए, जिसमें एक महत्वपूर्ण विषय था इस बिल के तहत जो हमारे पिछड़े समाज से आने वाली महिलाएं हैं उनके लिए अलग से प्रावधान करने का। अध्यक्ष जी, ये विषय गंभीर है और ये जो चिंता है वो नाजायज़ भी नहीं है, इस मांग को गलत भी नहीं ठहराया जा सकता, क्योंकि महिलाओं को अगर हम देखें तो महिलाएं एक जैसा ग्रुप नहीं है, एक होमोजेनस ग्रुप नहीं है। महिलाएं एक हेट्रोजेनस ग्रुप है, क्योंकि महिलाएं अलग अलग पारिवारिक पृष्ठभूमि से आती हैं, अलग अलग इनकम लेवल से आती हैं, अलग अलग जाति, धर्म, संप्रदाय से आती हैं और उनकी जो लिटरेसी लेवल्स होते हैं, जो उनकी शिक्षा का स्तर होता है, वो भी अलग अलग होता है। और हमारी जो सामाजिक संरचना है उसमें जो हमारे पिछड़े वंचित समाज से आने वाली महिलाएं हैं, निश्चित रूप से वो हाशिए पर हैं और उनके लिए चुनौतियां अलग किस्म की हैं, उनके लिए चुनौतियां अधिक भी हैं और इसलिए उनके लिए ज़्यादा संरक्षण की मांग भी समय समय पर होती रहती है। हमारी सरकार के बारे में मैं ज़रूर कहना चाहूँगी कि मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में ओबीसी के हितों को साधने के लिए कई ऐतिहासिक फैसले इन 9 वर्षों में हुए हैं और एक सहयोगी दल की नेता होने के नाते मुझे पूरा भरोसा है कि हमारे पिछड़े वंचित समाज से आने वाली महिलाओं के अधिकारों को संरक्षित करने की दिशा में प्रधानमंत्री जी जरूर कुछ ना कुछ विचार कर रहे होंगे और इसको सुनिश्चित करने के लिए भी कोई काम जरूर करेंगे। जब मैं अपने कांग्रेस के साथियों को सुन रही थी इस विषय को उठाते हुए तो मेरे मन में एक स्वाभाविक जिज्ञासा जागी कि 2008 में आप राज्यसभा के अंदर इस बिल को लेकर आए थे और 2010 में आपने इसको पारित कराया था। आज आप कांग्रेस पार्टी के तरफ से ये विषय ओबीसी कोटा का जो उठाया जा रहा है, मेरे मन में जिज्ञासा है कि उस समय जब राज्यसभा में लाके बिल पास कराया था तब क्या पिछड़े समाज की महिलाओं को कोटा दिया जाए, ये विषय आपके संज्ञान में आपकी पार्टी की प्रायोरिटी था या नहीं था? और अगर उस वक्त आपकी पार्टी की प्रायोरिटी नहीं था तो आज जब मोदी जी की सरकार ये बिल लाई है और ये बिल पास होगा क्योंकि संख्या बल इस किस्म का है, तो क्या ये नया ख्याल अभी आया है? हालांकि ये विषय महत्वपूर्ण है, मैं इस बात को दोबारा दोहराऊंगी, लेकिन स्थिति स्पष्ट होनी चाहिए कि हम अपने आवरण बार बदल नहीं सकते हैं। अध्यक्ष महोदय, ये मैं जरूर कहना चाहती हूँ। मैंने एक और बात देखी है अध्यक्ष जी कि हमारे कई साथियों ने बार कहा कि चुनाव है 2024 का, 2024 का चुनाव है। सर्वदलीय बैठक में मैं सुन रही थी कई सारे हमारे साथी महिला आरक्षण विधेयक लाने की मांग कर रहे थे, तो अब मैं देखती हूँ एक अजीब स्थिति है कि अगर सरकार इस बिल को पेश नहीं करती तो आप कहते हैं कि आप तो महिला विरोधी, आप तो महिला की चिंता नहीं करते, आप महिला के प्रतिवादा पूरा नहीं करते, और जब सरकार बिल ले आई है तो आप कहते हैं कि अभी 2024 के आप चुनाव को देखकर लाए हैं, चुनाव में इसका फायदा नहीं मिलेगा। अध्यक्ष जी, हर फैसला संसद में बैठकर किसी चुनाव को देखकर नहीं किया जा सकता। आज हमने एक अच्छी शुरुआत की है, हमने एक अच्छी पहल की है और इसे अगर हमें अंजाम तक पहुंचाना है तो इसकी एक पूरी प्रक्रिया है, उस प्रक्रिया का पालन हमें करना पड़ेगा। हम जानते हैं कि 2011 के आंकड़े हमारे सामने नहीं है। 2001 में हमारी सेंसस हुई, उसके बाद एक लंबे समय तक हमने सेंसस की एक्सरसाइज नहीं करवा पाई है, बीच में कोविड की भी बाधाएं रही, तो हमारे पास जो जनगणना के आंकड़े हैं वो बेहद पुराने हैं और उसके आधार पे हम डिलिमिटेशन नहीं कर सकते, हम एडिशनल सीट्स जनरेट नहीं कर सकते। इसलिए हमें इस संवैधानिक प्रक्रिया का पालन करना पड़ेगा और हमें नए सेंसस एक्सरसाइज के साथ डिलिमिटेशन करते हुए एडिशनल सीट्स क्रिएट करनी होंगी, जिसमें हमारी और जो महिलाएं हैं उनको इसमें आने का मौका मिले। और जो आज हम परेशान हैं कि महज लोकसभा में 14% की हमारी महिलाओं की भागीदारी है, वो बड़े हमारे राज्यों के सदन में भी बढ़े, तो ये चिंता जो आपकी है, ये जो बार चुनाव को लेकर, मैं यही आग्रह करूंगी कि मैं देख रही हूं कि एक जो सेंस ऑफ द हाउस है कि सभी लोगों का एक मूड भी है कि यह बिल पारित हो, तो इसमें किंतु परंतु नहीं होना चाहिए। यह बिल स्वागत योग्य है, इसको लेकर आपकी कुछ आपत्तियां हो सकती हैं, सरकार उनका ध्यान भी रखेगी और इसको हम खुले दिल से स्वीकार करते हुए बिना किसी किंतु परंतु के इसको आगे बढ़ाएं, इसको आगे लेकर जाएं और बाकी सारे जो सेंसस को लेकर या डिलिमिटेशन को लेकर आपकी चिंताएं हैं उसके आप त्याग दीजिए, सरकार इसकी चिंता कर लेगी। आपने मुझे समय दिया, मैं बहुत आभारी हूँ और इस बिल को लाने के लिए पुनः मैं अपने देश के प्रधानमंत्री, हमारे सरकार के मुखिया माननीय श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ।
धन्यवाद। धन्यवाद। नेक्स्ट स्पीकर हसरैन मसूदी जी।
शुक्रिया चेयरमैन साहब। जनाब, ख़वातीन के हुकूक़ और ख़वातीन की सियासी इदारों में भागीदारी ये जम्मू कश्मीर नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस के लिए कोई नई चीज़ नहीं है। बाबाई कौम जनाब शेर कश्मीर शेख महमूदुल्लाह की सरबराही में जब हम शख्सी राज के ख़िलाफ़ जिद्दजहद में मसरूफ़ थे तो आज़ादी से कोई 3 साल पहले हमने जब कल्पना की खुदमुख्तार जम्मू कश्मीर की, जिसमें महाराजा का एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल हेड के तहत एक रोल बना रखने का एक एहतमाम था, तो जनाब हमने जो एक मंशूर जारी किया, मैनिफेस्टो जारी किया जो जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए नया कश्मीर के नाम से मशहूर है 1944 का। उसमें हमने अलग से एक वुमेन चार्टर का हमने उसकी बात की और जो ख़वातीन के जो हुकूक़ हैं, सियासी हुकूक़, समाजी हुकूक़, उसके बारे में बात हुई और उसके लिए हम वादेबंद रहे। तो हमने सियासी इदारों में ख़वातीन की तर्जमानी, उनके रिप्रेजेंटेशन के बारे में बात की। तो जनाब उसके बाद जब हमने 1957 में अपना आइन बनाया, जम्मू कश्मीर का जो आइन है उसमें भी जो डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी है उसमें भी सेक्शन 22 में हमने जम्मू कश्मीर के ख़वातीन के लिए सियासी इदारों में भागीदारी, वहाँ में उनकी रिप्रेजेंटेशन की बात की और इक्वलिटी जो है पॉलिटिक्स में और पॉलिटिकल अफेयर्स में उसकी बात की। अगरचे 5 अगस्त 2019 को गैर आइनी तरीके से जम्मू कश्मीर के 2 हिस्से किए गए और जम्मू कश्मीर का स्पेशल स्टेटस से महरूम किया गया, लेकिन हमारा मानना है कि जम्मू कश्मीर का जो आइन है 1957 का वो बिल्कुल अभी भी नाज़िल अमल है। अगर कि आपने उसको डिसेबल्ड किया, लेकिन वो जो उसमें जो रोड मैप है उसमें जो कल्पनाएँ की गई है वो सारे हदफ मौजूद है। तो ये जम्मू कश्मीर का इसमें रोल है उसके
रेवंत रेड्डी जी।
अब जनाब जब हम
रेवंत रेड्डी जी
अब जनाब जब इस बिल पर हम आते हैं तो ये ऐसे किसी ने कहा है कि मस्त हूँ महक में उस गुल की जो किसी बाग में खिला ही नहीं। तो ये जनाब ऐसा एक इबादत दे रहे हैं जिसकी कहीं पर कोई नाम निशान नहीं है, एक शराब है। क्योंकि जो ताना बाना है बिल का जनाब, इसमें दिया गया है कि आगे वाले जो हमारे पास स्टेट्स होगा, जो फिगर्स होंगे अगले सेंसस के, उसके बाद जो डिलिमिटेशन होगी उसके बाद ये ऑपरेशनलाइज होगा। उसका मतलब है ये मौखर होगा कोई 15 साल। ये जो मकसद है महज और महज मकसद ये है कि सियासी लाभ हासिल करने का, और मुझे यकीन है कि जो देश के अवाम है वो इस फ्रेब को समझते हैं, इस शराब को समझते हैं। वो ये है कि इस बिल में ख़वातीन के लिए फिल वक्त आगे वाले दिनों में कुछ रखा ही नहीं है, क्योंकि कोई वजह नहीं है कि हम मौखर करें 2034 तक इसका लाभ। अगर हमने एक वादा किया है और अगर हम ये कहते हैं कि हम कमिटेड हैं, जो पार्टिसिपेशन है, जो रिप्रेजेंटेशन है, अंडर रिप्रेजेंटेड है ख़वातीन, तो उसके लिए अगर हम वादेबंद है, अगर इनके खलूस होता तो वो खलूस में जनाब तो ये मौखर 15 साल 12 साल के लिए नहीं करते, ये बल्कि आज के दिन ही 2000 जो आगे वाले इलेक्शन है उसमें ये करते, ये उसमें इसकी कोई व्यवस्था करते। अब जनाब जो 2000 अगर हम देखेंगे हिस्ट्री पर, जब जो पहला प्रयास हुआ जनाब 64th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अमेंडमेंट का, उस 64th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अमेंडमेंट में जनाब इनका विरोध रहा है बीजेपी का। जो ख़वातीन को हुकूक देने का जो अमल था उसका जो शुरुआत की गई थी, तो पहला दशका इन्होंने उस पर दिया। तो अब जो ये दे रहे हैं, अभी 10 साल से ये सत्ता में है, तो 10 साल से कोई प्रयास नहीं हुआ, अगरचे 2010 में पहले राज्यसभा में पास हुआ था। तो अब आज ये लाने का मकसद अगर ये है कि नहीं हम फ़ौरन ही ख़वातीन को जो रिप्रेजेंटेशन उनकी है, अंडर रिप्रेजेंटेड है, उनको वो हक दें, तो क्या मतलब है कि आप इसको मौखर कर रहे हैं, डेफर कर रहे हैं और 15-12 साल 13 साल तक डेफर कर रहे हैं। और फिर भी ये है जनाब ये कि कोई गारंटी नहीं है कि जब उसके बाद कैसे होगा, क्या कैसे शेपअप होगा, जो भी आज जो हुकूक की आप बात करेंगे। और फिर देखिए जनाब जो अभी जो अमेंड किए जाए हैं प्रोविजन, उसमें लिखा है एज नियरली एज में भी, एज नियरली एज में भी। उसका क्या मतलब है? ये एम्बिग्यूटी क्यों है? ये जो आप करना चाहिए, जो खाब बेचना चाहते हैं आप अपनी दुकान से आप कल लाने वाला सौदा वो आज बेचना चाहते हैं, जो मर्चेंट दुकान में मौजूद ही नहीं है। देखिए ये एज नियरली एज पॉसिबल की क्या बात है और डेफर करने की क्या बात है? तो जनाब कुल मिला के जो अगर हम जो जनाब जो बिल का जो आइडिया है, आइडिया है विमेन एम्पावरमेंट, आइडिया है विमेन पार्टिसिपेशन,
Yes.
जो रिप्रेजेंटेशन, अगर वो आइडिया है उसके साथ हम हैं, लेकिन जिस तरीके से फ्रेम दिया जा रहा है, जिस तरीके से ये
Now try to
शराब दिया जा रहा है, अब जनाब एक और बात है, अगर ये हम मानते हैं कि ये एक जेंडर जस्टिस का जो हमारी कल्पना है, हमारी कमिटमेंट उसका एक हिस्सा है, तो जनाब फिर क्यों ओबीसीज को डिप्राइव रखा जा रहा है, माइनॉरिटीज़ को डिप्राइव रखा जा रहा है? तो इसमें अगर आपका ये प्रयास है, संजीदा प्रयास है, कोशिश है कि नहीं, जो अनरिप्रेजेंटेड है, जो सेगमेंट ऑफ सोसाइटी जो अंडर रिप्रेजेंटेड है, सबको हम इसमें इंसाफ दें, तो
धन्यवाद।
सारा मुकम्मल इंसाफ देने का प्रयास क्यों नहीं? तो जनाब जब तक कि माइनॉरिटीज़, अब जनाब माइनॉरिटीज़ जो तकरीबन 14% है, अब देखिए आप जो खवातीन हैं माइनॉरिटीज़, क्या रिप्रेजेंटेशन उनके हाउस में है? क्या उसके लिए डिवाइस नहीं? अब जनाब जम्मू कश्मीर की बात देखिए, आप 2026 का आपका डिलिमिटेशन का था सारे मुल्क में प्रोग्राम, वहाँ क्यों प्रिपोन किया और वहाँ क्यों पहले ही डिलिमिटेशन किया जिसकी की कोई इजाज़त नहीं थी आईनी तौर पर? तो जनाब अगर इनके मन में जनाब संजीदगी होती और अगर इनके मन में जनाब होता है कि नहीं नेक नीति होती, तो फिर जनाब ये सारे
माननीय सभासदों, माननीय सभापति जी,
Dr. Jitendra Singh to resume.
Sir. When I left, we were talking about some statistical figures. As I promised in the beginning, I shall talk only science in science and not referring to what happened in under which Prime Minister, and let the House decide. So picking up from my last observation, there is a 142.68% increase in the space budget between 2013-14 and 2023-24. If in 2013-2014 it was 5,168 crore and 96 lakh, this year it was 12,543.91 crore. I agree with what was being said, that there was activity happening earlier also, and private participation having earlier also. But as I said, the figure was so dismal. only 4 space startups in 2014. Today we have 150. And that has been possible because a new arrangement was set up. An interface was set up which is known as InSpace, which facilitates the engagement of industry. And it is headed by a non-government person, a person from the corporate sector, who is presently heading. At the same time, a PSU was also set in, called NSIL, New Space India Limited, in order to engage in collaborations. And this is what has given the outcomes, a multiple or a many-fold investment. So there is a huge synergy now between research, academia, startups and industry. And in certain ways and in certain projects, industry has quite a meaty contribution. Then I was referring to Anusandhan, which has just come in, and that is where I had to stop. Out of the 50,000 crore budget that has been envisaged for 5 years in Anusandhan National Research Foundation, you will be glad to know as much as 36,000 crore, almost 70%, is going to come from non-government sources. And this has happened only 6 months back. I don't have to say who was the Prime Minister. And this will pave the way for a greater involvement of the industry, because I personally also believe the time is gone when there used to be a demarcation for private and public sectors. And if we have to grow further from where we are, and as the Honorable Prime Minister keeps reiterating, the Amrit Kal at the end of 2047, and if we have to be a global player and decide a global leadership for us, we have to meet the global challenges, live up to the global parameters, and have to have the global strategies. Now, this National Research Foundation was a concept being practiced in US and also some of the European countries. Why have we to wait for 6 decades, and who all were the prime ministers in between? I leave it at that. Now, as far as the foreign engagement is concerned, or the other, it was said that the satellites were being launched earlier also. Yes, I am not denying what is true. I am only adding to the half-truth said. The total number of foreign satellites, because this process, yes, it first happened in 1990, till date is 424. Now, what I am trying to say, the next sentence is interesting. Out of 424 satellites launched since 1990s, as many as 389, more than 90% launched in the last 9 years. Which was the government? Who was the Prime Minister? We have so far earned 174 million US dollars from the launching of the foreign satellites. Out of these 174 million US dollars, as much as $157 million have been earned only in the last 9 years. Which was the government? Who was the ruler? That I don't have to spell out. The figures speak for themselves. Out of the European satellites launched so far in the last nearly 30 years, or more than that, the total revenue generated is 256 million euros. Out of which, interestingly, out of 256 million euros, 223, almost 90%, earned in the last 9 years. Which means the scale has gone up, the speed has gone up, and therefore there is, as I said, a huge jump that has happened. Now, I think credit should be given to our scientists and the kind of patronage, as I said in the beginning, and was very well being also put out by Honorable Jairamji. We had scientists like Sarabhai, brilliant scientists, Homi Baba, another brilliant scientist, Incidentally, he came to India for a vacation or a holiday, and the war broke out. He couldn't go back. By that time, the independence was in the offing. Then he stayed back. But nevertheless, the point is that we had to wait all these years for so many things to happen which could have happened earlier. I'm sure somebody would analyze why this couldn't have happened earlier. If we had the human resource, what was lacking? And what did not happen has happened. And what could have happened, why didn't it happen? Now and of course, the acumen was so much, and I'm saying so also because the people should know and appreciate it. Our Chandrayaan has cost us just 600 crore. Whereas the simultaneous lunar mission, which did not prove to be successful, cost us 16,000 crore. So our scientists working in huge financial constraint admirably made up for that by investing cerebral assets. So we might be lacking in financial assets. So what we were doing, we moved out, took about 20 circles around the earth, used the gravitational force. It was like driving a car in a neutral gear in order to save the fuel. Then we immediately trajected out, went into the lunar orbit, spent about 40 circles around the moon. It took us about 30-40 days, quite in contrast to the Russian mission that happened simultaneously. But we saved on it. So in the process, I think I have to compliment the scientific community of India. They have given the world the concept of cost-effective space missions by producing missions which are not even 1/10 of the cost of the other missions. Our Aditya mission, which was very rightly applauded by Honorable Jairamji and others, has cost us just about 380 crore. So what I'm trying to say is, but which would also, I think, on the other side, give us an idea that if we did not have the constraints that the scientists were confronted with, they could have gone much higher. And that is what has been sought to be provided in the last few years. It's not giving credit to anybody or taking credit to anybody. The processes were there, but they have been sought to be given a new global outlook. Now, if you go only by the figures, I think the record of sending up 104 satellites, the world record, was set up in February 15th, 2017. I don't have to say which was the government. The first GSLV Mark III was sent up on 5th June 2017. Record number of foreign satellites in single go, 31. 31 satellites, out of which 28 were foreign, were sent up on 12th June 2018. And in 2017, 5th of May, a South Asian satellite, which sometimes popularly described as SARC satellite, which is catering to all kinds of inputs to the neighboring countries, including Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh. Unfortunately, Pakistan chose to remain out of it to its own disadvantage. So we are now in a position also to provide inputs and useful information to the neighboring countries, very much in the spirit of Atmanirbhar Bharat and also in the same spirit of the vaccine Maitri, a country which hardly had the concept of protective health care. Even if we fell sick, we leave it to God. If you get well, it is mother's blessing. If you don't get well, it is Pichle Janam ka karma. Because of our, maybe also partly because of our socio-economic constraints. Even the concept of health care was not socially commanding that kind of, or culturally commanding that kind of priority. That country today has become a leader in protective health care by providing first ever DNA vaccine and gifting it to the world. So in the same spirit, the space technology now also being provided for the benefit of the other countries. The other part of it is, which has very conspicuously happened in the last 8-9 years, is that we have not confined ourselves only to the launching of rockets. Rockets catch nations' fancy, as they did. The entire nation was glued to the screen when this landing happened, and that again also because the gates had been opened up. The whole country took it as their own mission. Earlier on, what happened? You had a launching in the remote corner of a newspaper column. You would see a single column news, Sriharikota. You could not make out even where the Sriharikota was located. Now we are getting tourists there. We are getting visitors there. We are getting boys and girls. We had 10,000 spectators to watch Aditya launch in comparison to just 10 of the team members we used to have in 2014. And from all sections of society. So if we have to move on, as I said, in a synergized manner, we have to involve. This has to be whole of government plus whole of nation effort. And that is precisely has happened now, which has led to the generation of cumulative, collective human resource as well as knowledge resource. The other part is, as I was mentioning, the late 9 years, we have not only confined ourselves to the launching of rockets. Space technology today is being applied virtually in every sectoral development projects, or every sector. And I have no hesitation to say that space technology has entered every Indian household. Some of us may not realize that it has already happened. Floods and disasters, of course, we are ahead of others. Somebody other day said, what would be the benefit of spending 600 crore on Chandrayaan? Many of us don't realize the amount that has been
saved by averting disasters through space technology is much, much more than the amount spent on Chandrayaan. So in the age of figures, statistics and evidence, I can't say I am saying so, hence I am true, or anybody else says so. And it's also gone are the days when I would say I am more experienced and wiser than you, or I am more grey-haired. Today...
Sir, I don't see grey hair.
Sorry, sir.
I see grey material, but grey hair is not visible.
Sir, all kinds of colors are available in the market today. Sir, with you, person like you, inspiring chairman, I think it motivates everybody to use the kind of color he or she wants.
For grey hair, you can look to Jairam Ramesh. Complete grey hair.
I can share some with him. Simulated in the rest of the world also is our Swamitva program, which, as I said, this is working through whole of government. We have the rural development department in that, the revenue. This is mapping of the land, mapping of the farms, using space technology and drones, which brings in more of transparency, less of corruption. You don't have to make rounds of the revenue officer. You can yourself access it. And I think out of nearly 6 lakh inhabited panchayats, almost 3 lakhs or so are completed through this program. The railway tracks laying and the unmanned railway crossings. Telemedicine, of course, I don't have to mention. Agriculture sector. Virtually in every sphere of life and every sphere of sectoral development, we have the space technology now. Now, I think time has come, as I agree with most of the members who very optimistically concluded it. The measure of our success is always relative. The Einstein theory has survived on that. So what is important is, as was being mentioned by someone, that US landed a human being in 1969. True. If you recall, and those who are the keen watchers would remember, Neil Armstrong landed there, took a stroll. BBC captured a film. That was the main news agency those days. And he made a famous statement which has gone down in the history. He said, one small step for man, giant step for mankind. He said so, no doubt. But he could notice the presence of water, even though he had a straw around. It was our Chandrayaan, which later on went and got the evidence of the water molecules, the H2O, which could give a direct or an indirect indication of the possibility of human habitat. और सभापति महोदय जो कहानियाँ हम सुना करते थे तस्वर में कि चांद पर क्या होता होगा, लोग बसते हैं कि नहीं बसते, बसते तो कैसे है, वहाँ पे परियां नाचती होंगी, उन पहेलियों का वैज्ञानिक उत्तर ढूंढने की प्रेरणा अगर किसी ने दी तो हमारे चंद्रयान ने दी. And I think also one of the best examples of combining our traditional knowledge, which is our asset, with the most modern cutting edge technology. विमान का नाम चंद्रयान, जहाँ वो पहुँचा वो शिव शक्ति, लेकिन जो उसकी इनपुट्स आ रही हैं हमसे भी कहीं पहले नासा उपलब्ध करवा रहा है, because that's a virgin area, virgin territory. Nobody had ever ventured there, could have. So even those agencies we started much before us. Now that takes us to the other inference. We are today at par as far as science, technology, innovation capabilities are concerned with any other country of the world. In some spheres, we have even moved one step ahead. And again, to give you an evidence example, I'm not talking which government. Television happened in USA in 1950s. All the London members of the upper house know that in 1960, the famous presidential election was finally determined by the outcome of a TV debate between John Kennedy and Richard Nixon, which turned the tables against Nixon. We in India did not have a clue about what is all this about. What is TV? What is debate? How does it happen? We saw TV for the first time sometime close to 1970, that to a weekly Chitrahar. Which government, which head of government, I'm not saying. Today, even computer came 15 years later. Today, quantum technology, the latest cutting edge technology. We are among 5 or 6 countries in the world which are into it. We are among the first who have mission quantum technology launched just 6 months back, under whom I need not say. And we are at the same level, R&D level, because in scientific projects we are different levels. We have not yet gone into application level, but if they are in the research and development, we too. Otherwise, what would happen? Television would have become popular in America. They would have indulged in TV debates for elections.
And then we would suddenly waken up to something called this new discovery. Similarly, in space technology, as has been said, we are already among the first 2 or 3. Now comes the space economy. True, our space economy is not something that we can boast of. But I do have the courage to say that this is a cumulative effect of the last 60, 70 years since we have started. Today, we are only 8 billion space economy. I am very humbly, modestly admitting it. But our projection for 2040 is 40 billion. So if since 1960s, as was being said, till 2000, second decade or third decade, we reach 8 billion. In the next 15 years, we'll reach 40 billion. But the most interesting part is that only a few days back, I think hardly a week back, we had a famous report called ADL report, one of the international reports, the Arthur D. Little report. They keep making such projections. The report says that India could go up to not 40 but $100 billion economy by 2040. In other words, my own projection about myself is lesser than what the others are thinking about me. Which means the world today has recognized the quantum jump that India has undertaken, the fast track in which he is moving. Now our startups, as was being mentioned by some other members, In 2014, we were only 350 to 400 startups. Which government? All members are learned enough. In 2016, Stand Up India, Start Up India policy was launched from the ramparts of Red Fort, announcement made in the Independence Day address by the Prime Minister. Within a few years today, Honorable Chairman, sir, we are 1,25,000 startups. More than 110 unicorns. And what I'm not saying, the ruling party not saying, the Treasury bench is not saying, the world is saying, India has suddenly jumped up to the third position in startup ecosystem in the world. Now, if it has happened now, how can we help it? But if it has happened now, something must have been contributed to make this happen. Some enabling milieu might have been created, some enabling provisions might have been created. Similarly, in Global Innovation Index, again, not mine, not yours, internationally determined parameter and recognized. In 2013-14, we were 81 position. Today, we have jumped 41 positions and we are at number 40. Now, is this not a matter of pride for each one of us? And when we talk of space economy, we can foresee that space economy is going to be a major contributor in India's future economy as well. And we have jumped.
1 second. Sorry. Honorable members, I have got an input from some members in writing. They say many of us feel it is so cold. One thing is very good. The Secretary General will take steps to moderate the temperature. And another significant facet, we are not generating heat. We are in full collaboration. The Honorable Minister must have been very serious student
Of Shakespeare. He, in his speech, has taken to Julius Caesar, and our Jairam Ramesh has not interrupted him. Please go ahead. Temperature.
Right, sir. The Aditya is going to study this part also. The thermal aspects, the magnetic aspects, and the solar aspects emanating from the sun. How effectively could the possible harmful effects be avoided, and to what extent this could be put to advantage for those living on planet Earth. Sir, coming back, Global Innovation Index and International Index, we have come up 41 positions in 9 years. Overall space economy is going to be an important part of it. We are today 5th. And I think in many quarters, more celebration is done when it is said that we have overtaken United Kingdom. So just as we have overtaken United Kingdom, some people also feel rejoiced that we are now launching US satellites. What I am trying to say is that the now world looks up to us. Gone are the days when India used to be led by others. Today, the world is ready to be led by India under Prime Minister Modi. Biotechnology. Now, how can I say, unless the Prime Minister changes, I cannot help it. You have to accept it. Now, biotechnology. We were only 50 startups in 2014. 50. We could not even say this very respectfully. 50. With the new provisions brought in, now we are going to have biomanufacturing policy also. It has gone up today to 6,000. Our bioeconomy was $10 billion in 2014. 13, 14. Today, it has gone up 8 times to 80 billion US dollars. So, in 70 years or 65 years, we reached 10 billion. In 9 years, we reached 80 billion. So 8 times increase in 8 years or 9 years. For a country which has a huge bio resource, sir. We have a wide range of Himalayas, 3-4 states in the lap of Himalayas, Arunachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Himachal, Jammu Kashmir, I don't have to need all. We have 7,500 kilometer long coastal area, the longest in the world, beginning from Odisha up to the Maharashtra. The seabed full of minerals, metals, and biodiversities, and the biosources. And now we have also launched Samundaryaan under the Ministry of Earth Sciences to explore that wealth. And I'm sure, sir, given your kind of penchant and humor, you would appreciate. We are the only country which has an ocean named us, Indian Ocean. The other day I was telling some friends from Australia, you come from a place which is a country, which is an island, which is a continent, Australia. But the ocean is not known as Australian Ocean. Because my forefathers must have foreseen the huge wealth lying inside. और उस अपार संपत्ति को निकालने का काम भी अभी शुरू हुआ पिछले 5 साल में समुद्रयान में. समुद्र तो वहीं था. I'm not. Okay. Yes. ठीक है, भारत ओशन रख लीजिए. Good. Welcome. Good suggestion. Well taken.
I think that is the sense of the House.
No, I think there is a sense of acceptance. I am glad. Yes, sir.
Continue. Okay, Honorable Minister, continue.
So these exclusive resources which will contribute to our economy and which are primarily scientifically driven, Aroma mission has happened only in the last 5 years. India has given the world Purple Revolution, which is known as Purple Revolution. It's begun from the Himalayan states, now being also emulated by others. Cultivation and production of aroma products, lavender products, and giving competition to some of the imported products, including their perfumes, etc., confectionery. So all this has not only given a sense of science, a sense of esteem to science and scientists, this has also given a sense of esteem to the common citizen of India. Now somebody was saying, what is done for the scientists to come back and what has happened to the education? Though this discussion is not per se related to education, but of course scientists have to undergo some kind of an education. We had an education policy, I have, at the risk of sounding unorthodox, Chairman sir, I would say, we had education policy which was unable to give us the best of the merit as far as scientists are concerned. And that anomaly is sought to be created through National Education Policy 2020. So I'll tell you how it is. No, the professor will understand better. If I did class 12, my parents wanted me to be a doctor. I didn't manage it to medical college. What do I do? I do graduation. Which subject? Biology or botany? I can't go to any other subject. Professor knows it better. Then after graduation, what do I do? Yeah, that's what I'm coming to. I go for civil service exam. If I make it good, if I don't, then what do? I go for embassy. Again, same subjects. Botany, zoology. No, I can't go to economics.
It is the national, and finally, you either do PhD, become scientist or whatever, so it was happening by default. Now you have given credential to aptitude, to talent, to the inherent capacity. You have exit entry provision. You can change your subjects after class 12 if you are not, you are no longer prisoner of the aspiration. You can combine science with economics.
Honourable Minister.
I'm not yielding. Please go through the NEP 2020 document, then we'll have a debate. You have not gone through that. After class 12, I can change my medical subjects, I go over to economics. Was it not there? Why was it not there before? So I can, look here. No. You please go through the draft, then we'll go. We'll come to it. Secondly, and this national education policy 2020, this national education policy 2020 has happened in 2020. The name indicates. The name aptitudes, science capabilities, and science human resource at multiple levels. The level of funding, level of encouraging, level of also the exercising of choice and preferences. And therefore, I can go on and on, but I would
finally just conclude by saying, because I have taken more than the time required, that it is a moment to celebrate. And I think if there's anything otherwise that should be in anybody's mind. Absolutely. Yes. And those who facilitate them. No. If you are serving a class, if a scientist is working 24 hours and like a good Samaritan you offer him a cup of tea, do I not appreciate you? Yes, that's what we are doing. We are offering them funds when they require it. We are offering them environment when they require it. We are offering them freedom when they require it. We are offering them synergy when we require it. And we have liberated them from those self-imposed shackles. We have liberated them from this. And this has happened in the last 9 years. And the whole world. Today, sir, just to conclude. As I said, I am not saying, Treasury not saying, during Prime Minister's US visit. Now, I can't help it. It's been there in public domain. US solicited that our astronauts should be accompanying to the International Space Station. That means they have recognized the worth of our astronauts. Now, what do I do? If the opposition members have a problem with that, it's not you are my valuation, T. Sivaji, or otherwise? I know.
It says Parliamentary Affairs Minister. He's Science and Technology Minister.
No,
Please.
I am concluding. No, sir, I'll conclude.
Friends,
What?
Friends, we are looking at all situations. Several small and minor things have to be done. No effort will be spared. I have requested the members and leaders to make suggestions to me also. And I had an occasion to get their inputs also. We need only some breathing. We are having
I won't take long. The Americans today solicit that our astronauts should be accompanying them to the International Space Station. That means they recognize our capability. The Americans today suggest that we should be part of their semiconductor consortium. That means they think we have some value
Addition to do with them. The Americans today want us to be part of the Artemis Agreement. So I think without any pride or prejudice, regardless of which side we are sitting, this is something to celebrate. The Chandrayaan was a moment of glory for India, and I don't think anybody can deny that. And now, of course, next, as Jairamji said, now we will be going ahead with Gaganyaan. And just to share a small bit of information, we got delayed because of the COVID and the supply chain problems. We would be shortly sending the first trial mission, which will be non-human, just go quite a few miles, follow the itinerary. Then the second human mission will again be non-human, but it will mimic a human mission. It will be a robo mission with a female robo scientist, Vayomitra, maybe possibly by the beginning of next year. And finally, as was being said by the honorable member, in 2024, Gaganyaan, the first human being, though our human being had been there, now again you would say, Rakesh Sharma went there and he told Mrs. Gandhi, सारे जहां से अच्छा, वो अभी तक बचता है. But we conveniently forget that was Soviet mission. A total indigenous mission from nut bolt is now in the offing. And that is why the world today looks up to us and recognizes us as a partner who is equally engageable and maybe a force to reckon with in the times to come. Thank you, Chairman, sir.
Honorable members, it is very soothing from all sides. We are having a scholarly debate. This will send a very good message, and I am sure it will continue. Srimati Sulata Dev.
Jai Jagannath, Honorable Chairman, sir. India's glorious space journey marked by the successful soft landing of Chandrayaan-3. सुबह से सुन रही हूँ, अभी मंत्री जी को भी मैं सुनी. एक बात मैं बोलूँगी, विक्रम साराभाई, होमी भाभा, एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम जी को मेरा यहीं से नमन है, श्रद्धांजलि है. सारे जो साइंटिस्ट जो हम लोगों के बीच में नहीं है, जिनका स्वप्न था, ये स्वप्न आज पूरा हुआ. चंद्रयान-3 का सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग.
जब हम लोग 2019 में चंद्रयान-2 का प्रक्षेपण किए थे, चंद्रयान-2 बस कुछ तकनीकी खराबी के कारण सक्सेसफुल सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग नहीं हो पाया. मुझे तब भी याद है, न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स ने हम लोगों को कार्टून में एक सटायर करके लिखा था. आज अभी माननीय मंत्री जी बोल रहे थे, वही अमेरिका आज हमारे साथ काम करना चाह रहा है. ये है हमारा भारत, जो कर दिखाने की क्षमता रखता है. एक बात है, एक कहावत है, पानी में तैर के कश्ती पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. जो कोशिश भारत ने किया, वो कोशिश कहीं ना कहीं आज सक्सेस हुआ. मैं एक बोलूँगी कि जब 2019 का चंद्रयान का फेल्योर हुआ था, ये जब चंद्रयान-3 हम लोग भेजे, कहीं ना कहीं इसको बहुत मॉडिफाई किया गया था, जिसके वजह से ये सक्सेसफुल सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग हो पाया. सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग का माने है कि सेफली लैंडिंग हो पाया. ये कहीं कम बात नहीं है, जबकि जुलाई में जो हम लोग ने भेजा इसरो से चंद्रयान-3 को, 3,84,000 किलोमीटर, 84,400 किलोमीटर पार करके वो जाके सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग किया. अगस्त 23 को भारत नहीं, सारे विश्व का नज़र भारत के ऊपर था, चंद्रयान-3 के ऊपर था, कैसे लैंड कर रहा है. ये है हमारे भारत के वैज्ञानिकों का जो काम वो किए, वो काम सबको पूरा दुनिया में सारे देखे. मैं अभी भी कहूँगी कि स्वतंत्रता के बाद भारत ने अपने अंतरिक्ष क्षेत्र में महत्वपूर्ण कदम उठाए और चंद्रयान-1 और चंद्रयान-2 जैसे मिशन को प्रक्षेपित किया. भारतीय अंतरिक्ष अनुसंधान संगठन इसरो ने चंद्रयान-3 मिशन के तहत चंद्रमा की सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग के लिए प्रयास किया. चंद्रयान-3 का मुख्य उद्देश्य चंद्रमा के सतह पर नर्म स्पर्श सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग करना था, जिससे वो वैज्ञानिक डाटा और जानकारी प्राप्त की जा सकती थी. ये मिशन भारत के अंतरिक्ष क्षेत्र में अद्वितीय तकनीकी और अन्वेषण क्षमताओं की प्रतीक है. चंद्रयान-3 का सफल निर्देशन और डाटा संग्रह की मदद से वैज्ञानिक समुदाय को मूल्यवान जानकारी मिलेगी, जो अंतरिक्ष और चंद्रमा की समझ में मदद करेगी. चंद्रयान 3 के सफल लैंडिंग में भारत ने अपनी अंतरिक्ष मिशन में एक और महत्वपूर्ण कदम बढ़ाया है और विश्व भर में अपनी तकनीकी का प्रदर्शन किया है। इस सफलता के साथ भारत ने अंतरिक्ष और विज्ञान में अपनी प्रतिष्ठा बढ़ाई है और विश्व भर में एक महत्वपूर्ण खिलाड़ी बन गया है। चंद्रयान 3 के माध्यम से भारत ने चंद्रमा के सतह पर विज्ञान के क्षेत्र में नए अवसरों की और कदम बढ़ाई है और अगले मिशन के लिए साथी डेटा प्राप्त किया है। इस मिशन के माध्यम से भारत ने अंतरिक्ष में जानकारी और वैज्ञानिक सामर्थ्य के सुधारने की संकेत दिया है और ये देश का विकास के लिए महत्वपूर्ण है। चंद्रयान 3 के सफलता ने भारत की अंतरिक्ष मिशन की अगली पीढ़ियों के लिए प्रेरित किया है और दुनिया को दिखाया है कि भारत अंतरिक्ष अनुसंधान में मान्यता प्राप्त करने के लिए तैयार है। मैं अभी भी बोलूँगी, रूस, अमेरिका और चाइना के बाद
भारत एक चतुर्थ कंट्री है जो चंद्रमा पे लैंड किया है और देखा जाए तो भारत पहला वो कंट्री है जो साउथ पोलर रीजन पर लैंड किया है। एक कोई कम बड़ी कथा नहीं है, क्योंकि जो कंट्री हम लोगों को आंखों से नहीं देखते थे, आड़े आंख से नहीं देखते थे, आज वो हम लोगों की सराहना कर रहे हैं। चेयरमैन इसरो एस सोमनाथ जी के साथ में जितने सारे वैज्ञानिक थे, उसमें मैं गर्व के साथ कहूँगी 100 से भी अधिक वैज्ञानिक और इंजीनियर्स महिला थे जिन लोगों ने ये चंद्रयान 3 को लॉन्चिंग में टेकअप किया, जिसमें से असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर कल्पना जी भी थी। और मैं और एक बात गर्व के साथ कहूँगी कि मेरे स्टेट ओडिशा से बहुत सारे यंग साइंटिस्ट देखा जाए तो इसरो में काम करते हैं। उसमें से 4 युवा साइंटिस्ट चंद्रयान 3 के लॉन्चिंग में शामिल थे। देबाशीष महापात्र फ्रॉम ब्रह्मपुर, के नागाराजू फ्रॉम ब्रह्मपुर, डॉक्टर शरद कुमार दास ढेंकानाल, सुशील कुमार नायक केंद्रापड़ा। जब ये ओडिशा की बात आती है, मैं फिर बोलूँगी 1984 में ओडिशा में स्पेस एप्लीकेशन सेंटर ओरसैक का स्थापना हुई, जो एक अपेक्स बॉडी है ओडिशा में। स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ साथ ओरसैक आईटी प्रोजेक्ट्स लाइक GIS, GPS बेस्ड रिमोट सेंसिंग में भी अपना योगदान दे रहा है। ओरसैक आज भी ग्रामसैट और एजुसैट प्रोग्राम को चला रहा है। उड़ीसा गवर्नमेंट, और एक बात से मुझे गर्व होता है मेरे सरकार के ऊपर, मेरे मुख्यमंत्री के ऊपर और मेरे स्वर्गत मुख्यमंत्री बिजू बाबू के ऊपर। उड़ीसा गवर्नमेंट अपना एक व्हीलर द्वीप है जो भद्रक डिस्ट्रिक्ट में उड़ीसा में है, जो व्हीलर द्वीप को APJ अब्दुल कलाम द्वीप में नामित किया गया, APJ अब्दुल कलाम की 2nd डेथ एनिवर्सरी पर। और उससे भी बड़ी बात है, स्वर्गत बिजू पटनायक जो फॉर्मर चीफ मिनिस्टर थे, उन्होंने APJ अब्दुल कलाम के रिक्वेस्ट पर वो व्हीलर द्वीप को मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस को अलर्ट किया था। कहीं ना कहीं हमारा जो योगदान है वो भी सराहनीय होगा, क्योंकि साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी में सबका, सारे स्टेट का, पूरा कंट्री में योगदान होना चाहिए। अगर सब कुछ ठीक रहा तो मेड इन ओडिशा मिनिएचर सैटेलाइट क्यूबसैट बहुत ही जल्द ओडिशा की नेचुरल कैलामिटीज लाइक साइक्लोन और साइबर सिक्योरिटी को बढ़ावा देने, साइबर सिक्योरिटी को कैसे रोका जाए उसके लिए काम करेगा। भुवनेश्वर बेस्ड सिलिकॉन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी ने पैक्ट साइन किया है क्रिस्टल और एरोस्पेस प्राइवेट बेंगलुरु टू डेवलप द सैटेलाइट, जो कि इसरो के जरिए लॉन्च होगा। मैं अभी भी यही कहूँगी कि आज भारत को सारे विश्व देख रहा है। ये जो स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी है, ये
माननीय सदस्य आपका टाइम,
ये 1 मिनट में ख़त्म कर रही हूँ। ये जो स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी है ये कहीं ना कहीं हम लोगों को बहुत आगे लेके जाएगा, भारत के इकोनॉमी को भी आगे लेके जाएगा, क्योंकि आज इसरो ने ये साबित कर दिया कि हम लोग सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग कर सकते हैं। इसके वजह से इंटरनेशनली जितना इम्पोर्टेंट प्रोजेक्ट रहेगा स्पेस का, जैसे नासा को मिल रहा है वैसे हम लोगों को भी मिलेगा। स्टार्टअप में भी हम लोग आगे बढ़ेंगे। इसरो के माध्यम से ऑलरेडी स्टार्टअप में आगे बढ़ रहे हैं और इसरो इसको गाइड कर रहा है। आगे ऐसे अगर चलता रहा तो हमारे साइंटिस्ट को, हमारे
वैज्ञानिकों को और भी काम मिलेगा। ये भारतवर्ष 2040 में $100 बिलियन का ये काम होगा, जहां पर स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी में शामिल हो पाएगा और स्पेस में उसका अर्थनीति बढ़ेगा। मैं इतना ही कहूंगी। और सारे साइंटिस्ट, मैं यहाँ के सारे जितने भी जो भी लोग इस
चंद्रयान 3 को लॉन्च करने में, सफल लॉन्चिंग में उनका हाथ रहा, मैं सबको यहाँ से तहे दिल से शुक्रगुजार हूँ। और मैं भारत की नागरिक हूँ, इसके लिए मैं खुद गर्वित हूँ। नमस्कार, वंदे उत्कल जननी।
धन्यवाद। माननीय सदस्य श्री बी विजय साई रेड्डी।
Thank you, Vice Chairperson, Madam. Thank you for the opportunity you have given. Madam, with the recent landing of Chandrayaan-3 on the moon, has solidified India's position as a world leader in space travel. The first country, India is the first country to land on the south pole of the moon, and which no other country has done so far. And this is a matter of immense pride for all the people of India. So we appreciate the scientists and the government in this regard. Madam, my friend Ramesh ji is not there, so he is coming now. Madam, my friend extensively spoke about the professionalism in ISRO, science research. My friend spoke extensively about the political interference. My friend has spoken extensively about the freedom and also budgetary resources.
And he has claimed that it is in 1962 which the science and technology research in space has started. Yes, that's correct. But if I don't bring to the notice, your kind notice, one particular fact, incident
which has occurred, probably I will not be doing justice to that. The injustice the Congress party has done to the scientist community has to be disclosed in this, has to be discussed in this August House. It is the Congress party. Congress party has got the legacy of scientific intellect, stifling the scientific intellect. Stifling the scientific intellect. Unfortunate case, which you might have forgotten, but we will not forget. Just remind the case of Nambi Narayanan. The injustice what you have done to the scientific community, scientist community. It's a case to be discussed, and which I should bring it to the notice. It is the Congress party that was in power, both at the center and also in Kerala. It is the Congress party which has foisted the cases. Congress party has got the habit of foisting the false cases on many politicians. And it is not, and they have foisted not only on politicians, they have foisted even on the scientists also. Please, when you spoke, I was silent.
Please, शांत रहिए.
Madam, it is the Congress party.
माननीय सदस्य.
Please, it is the Madam, please listen to me. Don't listen to them. Madam, it is the Congress party. I have to say.
बात रिकॉर्ड नहीं होगी.
Madam, Vice Chairperson, Madam, don't look at them. Please look at me, Madam. It is the Congress party. It is the Congress party which has put Nambi Narayanan in jail for 50 days. Shame. and subjected to him the torture, subjected him to torture. And they have done so with zero proof against Nambi Narayanan. There was absolutely no evidence, but however, they have foisted the false cases on him. And they have harassed the scientists and the scientist community at large to fulfill their political vendetta. This is not good for the country. Madam, everyone knows in this country the reality. In that particular case, what happened in this particular case? Finally, the Honorable Supreme Court has come to the rescue, and Supreme Court has categorically stated that the arrest was wrongful, illegal, and unlawful, and therefore ordered probe into the matter against the officers who have foisted the false cases. This has to be taken note of, madam. This is the habit of Congress party. Habitual. Madam, Chairperson, madam, don't look at them, madam. They have the tendency and habit of disturbing the country and disturbing the people. So don't look at them. Madam, while my friend Ramesh ji claims that they have started in 1962, on the other hand, the BJP claims that they have done everything from 2014 onwards. Yes, from 2014 onwards, there is a rapid improvement and there is significant development. And madam, in between Congress party and BJP, I have to state here that leader of opposition of Andhra Pradesh, he comes in between and claimed that he has done a lot in the science and research technology. And leader of opposition of Andhra Pradesh, leader of opposition of Andhra Pradesh, leader of opposition of Andhra Pradesh, in several times, on many occasions, has claimed that he has invented the computer, and he is the founding father of the space research, and he is the person who has invented the cell phone also, madam. The leader, Mr. KK, please sit down. I am not yielding. Please sit down. Madam, don't look at him. I am not yielding to them. Shivaji, KK, you have no right to speak. You have no right to indulge in my man. You have no right. You are absolutely doing wrong. Please sit. When I am speaking, who are you to intervene when I am speaking? It is vice chairperson who can prevent me, not you. Please sit. Shivaji, please sit. No, you also address the chair. Madam, please listen to me. My request to you is, it is for the good of the country. It is for the good of the country. The leader of opposition of Andhra Pradesh, who is claiming that he is the founding father of everything, you investigate the case. You find out the facts, whether he has really invented everything, invented information technology, invented computer, invented cell phone. If that is true, India can claim the patent rights on that, and India would be getting all manufacturing, hardware manufacturing companies and software companies and also the cell phone companies would be making billions of rupees towards the patent rights India will have if Chandrababu Naidu claim is correct. Madam, next issue, madam. No point of order when debate is going on. No point of order. Entire opposition is anarchic. Anarchic party, Congress party is anarchic party. And these parties have joined with Congress party and make the country anarchic party.
प्लीज बैठिए
Madam, please listen to me, madam. Don't look at them.
क्या करें बैठिए बैठ प्लीज
Madam, coming to the budget.
प्लीज बैठिए
Coming to the budget.
प्लीज बैठिए प्लीज
Madam, Vice
Please,
Chairperson,
बैठिए।
madam, coming to the budget.
अब शुरू करें अब
मैडम बोलिए सभी व्यवस्था
Madam,
बनाए रखें जो मेंबर बोल रहे हैं वही
India's
रिपोर्ट पे
space
जाएगा,
program
शांत रहें।
has the budget of $2
सभी
billion.
व्यवस्था क्या
Whereas
सभी व्यवस्था क्या
NASA
है
has got
आप शांत रहिए
NASA of
सभी
America
व्यवस्था
has
किया
got the
जाएगा आप
budget
शांत
of
रहिए
31 times bigger than India's budget, which is at $62 billion.
क्या जाएगा सभी
Let them make noise, whatever they want to make, let them make noise. But they can't, it can't deter me from, it can't deter me from exposing other parties. It can't deter me from exposing Chandrababu Naidu. Madam, anarchic, I have already told that these parties are anarchic parties. They are interested in disturbing the country. Madam, please look at me. Madam, Mangalyaan was the cheapest mission, most economical mission. It is economical mission, which was completed at 450 crore. Madam, the budget of Chandrayaan 3 was very cost effective and the mission costed only 615 crores. And we need to appreciate the government and Narendra Bhai Modi in this regard. Madam, the lower the... Madam, I have no hesitation to say, that the cost of Chandrayaan 3, which is at 615 crore, which is lower than the budget of Blockbuster movie, Blockbuster movie, it is less than the cost of Blockbuster movie, which costs around 700 to 800 crores of rupees. We need to appreciate Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister in this regard. Madam, the question now is, if ISRO can achieve with so much of little financial resources, just imagine how much it can achieve with more resources, which Congress party has not provided during its 50 years of rule.
कुछ आपत्तिजनक बात होगा तो जांच किया जाएगा आप
Madam,
बैठिए जांच किया जाएगा
the budget in 2023-24, Department of Space Expenditure was slashed by 8%, and I request the government of India not to slash the expenditure budget in this regard, madam. Madam, last year the expenditure was revised down by 23% from the budget estimate of 13,700 crores to the revised estimate of 10,530 crores. Madam, the biggest cut for the space technology under the central sector schemes, which was slashed by 1,094 crores, madam. Madam, global comparison. I have already...
So much nice. Let us keep quiet.
Madam, I have already told...
Why are you coming to?
I have already told that the Congress party has learned over a period of 50 years of rule, their rule, how the anarchy could be. Madam, the global comparison. Madam, NASA was founded only 4 years before ISRO was founded, but since then NASA has undertaken 1,000 missions, and whereas ISRO stands at little over 500 machines. My point, madam, in this regard is, if ISRO is provided with adequate funds, it can achieve more than what NASA can achieve. Madam, coming to 2021, China has 55 launches. We had only 2 launches compared to India's launch vehicle, the 4-tonner GSLV Mk3. China has long March 5 rocket. He is capable of carrying 5 times more payload. Please. Therefore, I request the government and Honorable Prime Minister to increase the number of launches. Madam, I am not yielding. Whether he is LOP or anybody, I am not yielding. Madam, Vice Chairman, Madam. Vice Chairperson, Madam. Vice Chairperson, Madam. I am not yielding. Let him be leader of opposition. I am not yielding. If you want to give priority to leader of opposition, you can give priority to leader of opposition. But I am not yielding. I am not yielding. Madam, Vice Chairperson, Madam. Asia's first space university was established in Thiruvananthapuram. At least I am talking about Thiruvananthapuram. Let Kerala, members from Kerala listen. Kerala friends, listen. Asia's first space university was established in Thiruvananthapuram in 2000, Kerala, in 2007. Manoj ji, please seated. I am not yielding to you, Manoj ji. I am not yielding to you. Shivaji, I am not yielding. But I request the government, more public space educational institutions are required to be built in India, and India is to scale up the space activities, madam. 1 minute, madam. Madam, it is also concerning to note that thousands of engineers pass out each year and they are migrating to other countries due to the limited opportunities within the country. I request the Honorable Prime Minister to enhance the budget and provide more opportunities in India to accommodate the pass out, those engineers who pass out from Indian universities, madam. 1/3 of all IIT graduates who leave the leave the country and live and work in abroad. And
K.R. Suresh Reddy. माननीय सदस्य श्री K.R. सुरेश रेड्डी. माननीय सदस्य श्री K.R. सुरेश रेड्डी.
मैडम, आपके सामने हूँ. Madam,
leader on bail, questioning the leader in jail.
Madam, at the outset, I would like to thank you for the opportunity given to me, and I can assure you that from the heavy headwinds, my speech will sail through tailwinds, ma'am. Today, BRS party joins the rest of the House to celebrate a remarkable milestone in the history of space exploration. The triumphant landing of Chandrayaan-3 on the moon's surface. This achievement not only represents a momentous occasion for India, but also a significant leap for humanity as we continue to explore and unlock the mysteries of the cosmos. Madam, this mission was born from the experiences and lessons learned from its predecessors, Chandrayaan-1, Chandrayaan-2, showcasing the spirit of innovation and resilience of the Indian Space Research Organization, as we know it as ISRO. Chandrayaan-3 is India's ambitious and successful lunar mission. Chandrayaan-3 is India's successful attempt to achieve a soft landing on the southern pole of the moon's surface for the first time. India is the only country to reach this part of the moon so far. To mark this great technological success, National Space Day will be celebrated each year on 23rd August. From Nehruji to Modiji, we salute the leadership, not getting into the politics of it, but for creating a firewall for space technology for non-political interference. And I also pay my respects from the great Aryabhatta to Sri Somnath ji, who was instrumental in this pilot project, madam. Through Chandrayaan-3, India aims to showcase its technological prowess, scientific capabilities, and its commitment to space exploration. If Chandrayaan-3 is a success, it will further strengthen India's position in the global space community. The mission will inspire the younger generation to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Now, the question which lies before the government and all of us is the government prepared to take this kind of volumes which would be coming in through space technology? I was told that the data generated by Chandrayaan mission and the Aditya L1 mission and various satellites, as the Honorable Minister informed this House of hundreds of satellites being sent. Now, the data which would be coming from there, I was told that is being analyzed by students and researchers who study the subject geospatial science and technology. Now, it is ironical that neither AICTE nor UGC recognizes this subject as an independent subject because it is a multidisciplinary subject. Chandrayaan and Aditya mission will generate huge data, and we need to prioritize and recognize this particular subject of geospatial science through UGC and AICTE, which I feel today would be the right moment for the minister to make his intervention and necessary action in this regard, ma'am. We need to bring to speed the various changes, as most of the members suggested, that the colleges, schools in rural areas need to be connected. It is not only through the IITs, but also through various engineering colleges across the nation. These brilliant students, these brilliant scientists have been produced, and they need to be continuously encouraged. Now, as a step in this direction, madam, my government in Telangana, under the leadership of KCR Garu, has initiated certain measures through a TSAT initiative, which the Telangana government has started. Now, TSAT imparts quality education using satellite and digital communication to the nook and corner of the state. Every corner of the state gets this facility, and 2 satellite channels, Nipuma and Vidya, impart diversified education in schools, colleges, agriculture, and also for students preparing for UP exams, reducing the financial cost, which otherwise would have been a burden for them through various private colleges. When Chandrayaan ma'am was seen live, students in remote areas have watched the event live thanks to this technology. And when you get to speak to these young students after the launch of Chandrayaan, what really inspires all policymakers like us today is the kind of scientific temper one takeoff has imparted in these students. Today, you go to the remotest of the villages, into the various urban cities, students are coming forward. They talk about not only being engineers and doctors, but they speak of becoming scientists, astronauts, and dwell into the deep inner outer space and bring back whatever they could to help this nation. So this is what Chandrayaan has done to the entire nation, especially the young minds of India. The kind of scientific temper which it had impacted goes a long, long way, and we salute the fraternity of ISRO for giving us this opportunity. Madam, now this TSAT which has been in Telangana, we have 35 lakh subscribers on the digital platform, which just gives you an assessment of the kind of impact this policy is making. So Government of India needs to intervene. They need to support such initiatives. Yesterday, The Honorable Prime Minister was speaking about the federal structure of this country, and I would like to bring to the notice of this House that here is a government which is imparting such wonderful initiatives, but it's not being adequately funded, and we hear talks of it becoming centralized, moving it away from Telangana and bring it here to centralized. So another form of scientific federalism is kind of coming in here, is the fear which most of us have. Please allow the states to dwell on their scientific achievements, let them localize the needs, and such facilities would go a long way in helping the states. And of course, ma'am, to conclude, before I conclude, Jairam Ramesh ji really enlightened the House a lot on science, which was very good. But then the leader of the House came with some political science, which we have to have our own reasons to intervene here. When he spoke about, when he spoke about the bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh into Telangana and Andhra, which was not done scientifically, we have a very strong reason to object, ma'am, because it goes against the sentiments of the people of Telangana. We've been repeatedly saying hundreds of people have sacrificed their lives to see this day, and today Telangana is the #1 progressing state. And if the honorable leader says it was not done scientifically, then through you I would like to ask him, in the last 9 years, have you gotten any amendments to improve it? Have you given anything more apart from what is in the bill? You had an opportunity to do that, but unfortunately you're not. And playing around with sentiments like this is not really good, because as we speak about federalism, this gives us a chance that today the unity in diversity, what this great country is proud about, and Telangana is proving it. Telangana is proving not for some political achievement. Telangana is talking about how it is contributing to this country. It is contributing economically, agriculturally, and today scientifically. So when things like this happen, when progress like this can happen, when the party heading the government comments like this would go against the interests of the state. This would go against the sentiments of the state. And yes, the leader. Madam, I'm not yielding.
आप बैठिए.
Madam.
Continue. आप continue.
Madam, I would not like to bring in any politics. I will not like. I only wanted to speak on science. But politics is what has come from that side. So I need to set the record straight, because those remarks were not expunged. They are on record. If they are on record, then we have to object to it. And our objection is, don't disturb the harmony. We said we will get separated as brothers and sisters. We continue to be like brothers and sisters. You develop, we develop, and it is the responsibility of the government of India to come to the rescue of both the states and set right matters if they feel something has been gone wrong. Last 9 years, have you gotten one single amendment to the bill? No. Then where has something gone wrong? If you have seen something gone wrong, have you made any special allocation? No. Have you cleared the water dispute? No. Then what is happening here? Then why do you make such sweeping remarks when we are just healing our wounds, trying to get closer to each other and be part of country's progress? I request through you, ma'am, that the remarks made by the leader of the House may be expunged. Thank you very much.
धन्यवाद. माननीय सदस्य श्री एडी सिंह. Sri A.D. Singh.
Thank you, Chairperson, for giving me the opportunity to speak on this issue. And on behalf of my leader, Lalu Prasad Yadav, and my party, we heartfully, it is a matter of great pride, big congratulations to the ISRO for making us proud by this successful mission. Their untiring efforts made the flawless journey of Chandrayaan-3 possible, that too in a very small budget. Further, I want to bring to the notice of my colleagues on both sides that Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's vision is what brought us everybody at this stage. And if we go back to 1962, when Jawaharlal Ji, India's first Prime Minister, recognized the need for investment in space research and set up the National Commission of Research Organization. And he inculcated the vision of developing a scientific temper. And all institutions related to science and technology, fortunately, got established under his leadership in India and by successive prime ministers, including Modi ji from 2014. So we cannot give individual congratulations only to 1% or 2%. It was a joint effort of all the successive governments equally, and we are not here to compare which government did better or did. Though I am fed up of hearing that after 2014 to this day, this has happened, this has happened. In fact, I get dreams that maybe before 14, I never used to wear clothes also. So I don't really know, because if that is the situation in this country, then it is... दोबारा नहीं बोलूँगा, आप पिटवाओगे क्या मुझे? It all started in 1940 when Vikram Sarabhai came to the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore campus after completing an undergraduate degree in physics and maths from Cambridge University. Sarabhai became interested in the study of cosmic ray under the influence of C.V. Raman. In 1942, Sarabhai met Homi Bhabha, who had made a professor at the newly established Cosmic Ray Research Institute. They both saw cosmic rays for two different perspectives. While Bhabha was interested in cosmic rays for the atomic particle they revealed, Sarabhai would come to see them as tools to study the outer space. When India gained independence in 1947, Homi Bhabha wrote to the then Prime Minister to set up a separate branch of science at atomic energy in 1954. Nehru created the Department of Atomic Energy, seeing the launch of Sputnik satellites by the Soviet Union. Nehru instructed the Department of Atomic Energy, whose secretary was Bhabha, to look after space research next year. Nehru famously said, "It is science alone that can solve the problems of hunger and poverty, of insanitation and illiteracy, of superstition and deadening custom and tradition, of vast resources of running to waste, or a rich country inhabited by starving people." I also heard the Honorable Minister on the other side that they welcomed and opened the ISRO gates for everybody. Let me clarify to the Honorable Minister that because the gates were shut all these years, so there was no, that's the reason for ISRO being so successful. Because I have seen, being a member of the Consultative Committee of Defense, I have seen whichever organization like DRDO and other things are there, other institutions are there, they are lobbyists, both Indian and foreign, who stall the development of science. For example, today also, though we are talking that we are supporting the scientific community, today in defense, we don't even have a testing ground. All our science equipment that we develop has to be sent abroad for testing, and it becomes on the whim and fancy of the local government to do it properly or not. Plus, if we see further, now so far as the Honorable Minister spoke of the high level of investment that we are making, India spends a mere 0.66% of GDP on science and technology, the lowest among BRIC nations. Also, the various people from the Treasury side have said about the Amrit Kal. Yes, sure, it is Amrit Kal, but actual Amrit Kal will come when we are able to feed, when we are able to provide employment or sustainability for the 800 million whom we are feeding by giving rice and wheat and everything today. So what kind of Amrit Kal is there? when the poor, because we have two Indias, one is the rich India, one is the poor India. The poor India is today also starving. We are sitting on a time bomb of unemployment. So what the Honorable Minister said that on this index we have become from 81 to 40, on this to that. अरे ये तो बताइए भाई कि वो उन गरीबों का हम क्या कर रहे हैं? ये साइंस टेक्नोलॉजी में हम उस गरीबों का जो भूखे मर रहे हैं, आप चलिए कितने स्टेट्स में की क्या हालत है? तो इसलिए ये तो अमृतकाल कह कर के I am only being reminded of Goebbels' philosophy that untruth told many times will appear to be truth. आप अगर वो गरीब इंडिया 800 मिलियन का है उसके लिए कुछ कर पाइएगा तो वो अमृतकाल होगा. तो इसलिए ये तो मुझे और जहाँ तक नेहरू जी को आज अगर हम हर विषय पर बोलने के लिए हैं तो इट इज़ पंडित नेहरू का डेमोक्रेटिक माइंड and creating institutions by which we are able to speak like this. मैं किसी का बड़ाई नहीं कर रहा हूँ नेहरू जी का, चाहे नहीं मैं ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर का बुराई कर रहा हूँ. ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर भी बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं. और जहाँ तक आप लोग बोल रहे हैं ना कि वेस्ट अमेरिका हमको ऐसे इज्जत करता है फलाना है, आई ट्रैवल ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड, आई interact with the highest level of people in the society, whether it is West, and whenever I ask them कि what is the position of India, so they tell me we need you for China. So आपका G20 सक्सेस हुआ चाहे जो भी हुआ, ये जो चाइना से जो डरे हुए हैं वेस्ट, उसके चलते हमें इज्जत मिल रहा है. ठीक है, एफर्ट्स भी हो रहा है, 200 मीटिंग हुई इधर उधर.
1 second. Honorable member has made a statement, he needs to revisit it. All of us here in the House are alive to the rising moral spirit of Bharat, and everyone has contributed to this.
No,
all segments of the House have contributed to it. I have been abroad thrice. I have interacted, 1 second, with G20 leaders. Don't you think the World Bank chairman saying we have achieved in 6 years what could not be achieved in 50 years? Let us not demean our institutions. You are a very informed person. Your personal experience is very limited on this count. The entire House has contributed to the rise of India. Everyone has done it. This side has contributed. This side has contributed. So don't make a statement. I look into that statement.
That I definitely don't have neither the knowledge, neither the experience of at your level. But what I can speak the truth in the House. What I feel, it may be wrong.
You have taken your time. Thank you.
To congratulate all the scientists, and the suggestions I want to make to the Honorable Chairman, to the administration of this country through the Honorable Chairman, that हम जो हमारे scientists हैं various organization में, हम उसको 60 साल में क्यों रिटायर करते हैं? हम उनको कम से कम 65-70 साल तक रखें, because वो जो कैसा है कि उनका brain 60 साल के बाद तो जब they will see after 50 and reaching the age of 60, that is the time they have really matured mentally, and that is the time that we should.
Thank you.
1 or 2 minutes, sir. And I have been to various various institutions of.
You have exceeded your time. Thank you.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Dr. V. Shivdas, 1 second. Yes. उससे पहले मैं आपको कह दूं, इस देश की विकास यात्रा पक्ष और विपक्ष के भारी योगदान से हुई है. इस देश की विकास यात्रा में देश के हर नागरिक का योगदान है, किसान का है, मजदूर का है. महज कोई पक्ष विपक्ष की वजह से बात करें ठीक नहीं है. There can be no contribution without participation of Paksh and Vipaksh, treasury benches and opposition benches. This is an occasion and a subject I, as an Indian, felt hurt when a member of this House says we are being driven and he gets an impression. I am sure that impression may not be shared by many. At least I am widely traveled. So are many of the honorable members here. The rise of India is being noticed, and it is contribution of one and all. If Mr. Khadge will go abroad, he will add to the luster of the country. So we can't monopolize it. So the honorable member observations, I will have a look at it. If our artists go abroad, they create a name for us. Our musicians, our singers, our politicians, our industrialists, they do it. Dr. V. Sivdasan. Point of order. Under which rule, sir? 258. 1 second. No.
Page 7 of unparliamentary expressions.
What exactly is the point of order?
Sir. Sir, Chairman, sir, it's with reference to the unparliamentary expressions book, page number 7, sir.
258, sir.
May I submit, sir? May I submit, sir?
Sir, I inquired from you something very simple. You are raising point of order.
Yes, sir.
Under which rule?
258.
Now, I have passed on the book
258,
for wisdom
sir.
of the leader of the opposition so that he can have a look at rule 258.
258.
What is this substance?
Substance is very simple, sir. With reference to page 7 of unparliamentary expressions, sir, we need your protection. When you are not here, sir, during the course of speech, Honorable Member Mr. Vijay Sai Red said, all the opposition parties are anarchists. So anarchy is an unparliamentary expression, sir. So kindly explain.
I'll look into it. I'll look into it. I'll look into it.
Kindly explain.
Honorable members, I started the practice that a lady member of this House would also be sitting as vice chairperson or on the panel of chairpersons. Now, we had a very distinguished member of this House occupying this chair. And I wanted her to be here for a little longer. But whenever I go inside, I watch the debate very carefully. I will look into it, and trust me and have my word for it. If I am not in the House, I am glued to the television where what is happening in the House. I look into it. But our women members are enormously talented. And I have a request from them that tomorrow perhaps I may have in the panel only women members of the House. And they are very talented. And we'll have it. So. Dr. V. Sivdasan.
Respected Chair, we all are very happy and proud of the achievements of Indian Space Research Organization and the science community. Chandrayaan-3 is the result of the collective effort of many public and private entities. 6 public sector companies from Kerala, including Keltron, Kerala Minerals and Metals Limited, KMML, and SIFL have contributed in this effort. It is a proud moment for all of us. This is the victory of the scientific temper and spirit of nation. Madam, science is a product of critical thinking. We can progress in science only if we have the courage to ask and answer questions. So, I see Chandrayaan as an occasion to uphold the spirit of critical thinking. The Constitution of our nation has upheld the scientific temper. Our education system and the institutions should be built with this spirit. Jawaharlal Nehru told us, a university stands for humanism, for tolerance, for reason, for adventure of ideas and for the search for truth. Sir, Madam, in 1963, Vikram Sarabhai, father of Indian space research, established India's first rocket launching station at Tumba near Thiruvananthapuram. He taught us the importance to cultivate a new generation with a scientific temper. Our respected leader of the House did not mention his name.
Very bad.
Vikram Sarabhai had told, there is no leader and there is no let. A leader has to be a cultivator, not a manufacturer. He should provide the soil and environment for the seed to grow. It should be forgotten. It should not be forgotten. Sir, the achievement is the result of our long-standing commitment to science. But sorry to say, this government is not ready to promote scientific temper. Science will provide universal view and solidarity to all human beings. Madam, in India, existing situation is very difficult. The budgetary allocation for science education and space research being curtailed.
Very good.
Then how the development will happen in future? Madam, in the textbook of NCERT, the theory of evolution has been deleted. Why they are not interested in the promotion of science? Aryabhatta, Galileo, Bruno, Copernicus, Darwin, C. V. Raman, S. Chandrasekhar, all have contributed to the development of science.
Yes.
I remember one of the social reformer in Kerala, Sahodaran Ayyappan, who have written a prayer, Science Dashakam, Sahodaran Ayyappan's books. Miraj Bhai, please read the prayer.
Very informative.
But Madam, see the case of basic science fellowship in India. Madam, the number of fellowship, it came down from 4,134 in 2016 to 703 in 2021. And the expenditure, it came down from 105 crore to 15 crore in the same period.
Oh my God.
Only 15 crore in this period. Lot of women scientists have also worked for the missions. Lot of women scientists. You are telling, oh, Nari Shakti. Nari Shakti. But postdoctoral fellowship for women has come down from 642 to 434 in this period. Only 434 is now your fellowship. And the expenditure came down from 32 crore to 19 crore. Now, let us check the budgetary allocation to ISRO and space research. In 2019, it was 13,139 crore for ISRO, but in 2021, it has been reduced to 12,642. Only 12,642 in space research. In space research, also the amount has come down 13,700 in 2023 to 12,543 in 23-24. Sir, Madam, embracing the scientist is easy. Teaching is very easy, but giving money is difficult for the government. Madam, in 23-24, the government has allocated 60,361 crore rupees for the Union Ministry of Science. Madam, 1 minute. Madam, 1 minute. 1 minute, madam, 1 minute. Everybody get the chance. See, science center, it is only 0.4% of our budget. Madam, respected madam, we are spending a very little portion of our GDP on science research. In Korea, they are spending 4.8% of GDP in science and technology. In US, 3.45% of GDP. China, 2.4% of GDP in science and technology. In India, only 0.7% of GDP in science and technology. Madam, in Chandrayaan should be an occasion to bring our focus to science. We need more scientists.
One
Madam,
minute,
1 minute.
हो गया.
Only 1 minute. Okay, madam. 1 minute. 1 minute.
7 minutes दे दिए.
1 minute. Madam, I have received an answer.
आधा मिनट में कर.
Yes, madam. I have.
आधा मिनट में समाप्त करें.
1 minute, please.
Madam, I have received an answer from this house, madam. There, the total number of missions, regarding the total number of missions, I have been told that 1819 there were 14 space missions launched. All 14 missions were successful. But in 1920, the number came down to 11. That means 11 were launched and 11 were successful. But in 2021, it came down to 5 and 5 were successful. Madam, but in 21-22, only 5 missions were launched and 3 were successful. It is not to lack of hard work from scientists. I believe it is because of the lack of government funding. Madam, they are spending larger amount for making the statues than for the science education. Madam, expenditure of Chandrayaan, madam, 1 minute. Madam, Chandrayaan project is 615 crore, madam. But the expenditure of, madam, the expenditure of statues might be 10,000 crore, madam, 10,000 crore rupees for expenditure of statues, madam. Madam, and another one, madam. Madam, another one, very important. HEC, madam, HEC. There in HEC, madam, HEC, they made the sliding door for Chandrayaan spacecraft. There, the employees, 2,400 employees are not getting salary the last 18 months, madam, 18 months. So, madam, it should be considered. This is my request.
Very good.
Sri Abdul Wahid. Sri Abdul Wahid.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. And being a madam in the seat, I have seen you are giving extra time to my comrade. I hope the same thing will be for me also. First of all, I congratulate whole team of scientists, ISRO, and everybody congratulating for their wonderful job done. It is not only from Jawaharlal Nehruji to Modi ji. It is maybe before also so many people worked. I don't know exactly. So I have not done that discussion. But my question, only one question is, only our ministry is coming slowly to the, this one. Our Minister for Science and Technology. He's not just started, but he's not looking this way. So I am talking to the empty benches of what you call treasury benches. Well, only I can see Neeraj talking to somebody. Otherwise, everything is completely free. Thank you very much for ignoring this session. So Chandrayaan is very small thing for them. But our chairman was telling we are not supposed to tell anything against.
ऐसा नहीं, आप गलत बात कह रहे हैं. देखिए आप कितने लोग बैठे हैं.
Okay, track.
एक मेंबर का नाम लिया.
Okay, I will change the track.
कैमरे को पैन कराइए.
I will change the track. Okay, I'll come to the scientific temple. This Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, the world's 6th largest national space agency. We agreed. And whatever happening now, we are all part of that one, from Kerala to what you call Kashmir. But my problem is we sent our Chandrayaan to south of moon, south side of the moon. That is very dark, and nobody was there. The same aim should be there from the north, from Delhi to south, to Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. I am not telling. Andhra, it is divided. I don't know what they are going to do here. I am not telling about Andhra. It will make a big uproar. So I am not touching. One cannot begin speech ISRO about ISRO and other activities. My first and foremost thing is my party congratulate from Modi ji to Nehru ji for doing all this work. I'm not seeing any difference. But one thing you have to remember, madam, through madam, I am trying to tell, nowadays not 50 years and 5 years and all. Now everything happens in our language, say, appakappa. Immediately. So, that 10 years, 5 years, no. Now, minister was telling about the last 9 years. 9 years should, because the technology has gone that fast. Now everything should be every month, not every year. So Nehru ji ka time aisa ho gaya, this time aisa ho gaya, nahi. Abhi everything is fast. We are agreeing that it is fast. We are on the fast track. And one more thing I want to add is whatever we say about scientists and all. My uncle used to be a scientist in BARC, Baba Atomic Research Center. Yeah, BARC. But he was telling that the salary they are getting, they work there 24 hours, you are admiring. But the salary they are getting, considering the other, this one here, it is very low. People are going for everything for this one, techies. And why? Because money is less. My friend was telling about his experiences in outside. He was insulted by our minister. Yeah, now our minister is coming. Anyway, he was insulted being outside. Why we are going outside? I was also last 40 years outside. Why? No other avenues here, no employment. Just like that, maybe our Singh was telling about his experience. Chairman got wild, no, you are not supposed. We cannot say our feelings inside the house, only always telling Modi ji, just like Tasai benches. It is not possible. We will tell our views openly. This is the only place we got. Outside, if you say, I will be arrested. Under UAPA, under that and all. So this is the place where we can open our heart. That is finished. You are not supposed to do this to me, madam, because everywhere everybody is giving extra time. Just I will come to the point and I'll stop immediately. The last part. Yeah, Mandariji, abhi somebody to hear. The current chairman ISRO, Ms. Somanath, he is from Kerala. He studied in a college, PKM Engineering College, Kollam. Government school.
Tangal Kunju Musalia, it is a minority-run institution. I am not. Why you are against this one? No. Why this is not important? It's engineering college. Why this one? You are always on the Pinarayi Vijayan Communist Party and all. Come out from that one. Be Kerala. Be in a Keralite. He studied in Kollam in a college where he was felicitated. He was telling about his all what has done in ISR and all. So we have to mention him also. And cost effectiveness of Chandrayaan. Why is this cost effective? Because you are giving only meager salary for scientists. You give them more. 1/5 of the salary they are getting outside, they are getting 5 times more. So why cost effectiveness is because of this one. We can cut costs in different ways. Because now I cannot talk because of my issue. Yeah, can. No, I cannot speak much because of I want water. It is not allowed also inside. Anyway, the cost effectiveness is not only the reason. Cost effectiveness, it is because of not giving salary. And one of my friends here, he was giving me a paper. What it is told? A guy is not getting. See, launching pad of Chandrayaan made by HEC, Heavy Engineering Corporation. Employee is not getting salary last 10 months. Last 10 months they are not getting salary. They are selling tea and idli according to BBC News. It's a BBC News came. What shame it's for us. They are not getting 10 months of salary after Chandrayaan gone. Still they are not getting their salary.
जल्दी कंक्लूड करिए नहीं मैं दूसरे मेंबर को बुला
Okay. You are telling something. Minister is telling.
It's not. They are not ISRO employees.
But they work for Chandrayaan.
Just
They
one
should-
second, one second. That was a half-baked information which was reported. They supply equipment to ISRO.
Yeah.
And ISRO is expected to pay for the equipment, which they have done. ISRO has done. Now, this is between the employer and the employee.
Not,
It is like, you have a factory, then I purchase from you and I give you the amount for the purchase. Then you don't pay. One second.
no,
So then
image-
if you are not
image of the
paying your
country.
employee, that is a different story. It's like that. ISRO is only a buyer of that factory. ISRO is
But sir, whatever it is backside, the image of the country is tarnished by BBC News telling this one. At least ask now to pay their salary. That is man. And that is it.
Sri Kapili Sibbalji.
So this is the way, don't cut the cost because just like this. Thank you.
I thank the Chair for giving me this opportunity to intervene in this debate. I've been listening with great attention to the somewhat fractious nature of the debate. I remember the learned minister talking about Louis Armstrong way back in 1962, and I think at that point in time, the President of the United States was Richard Nixon. But there was no proceedings in the Senate to celebrate what Louis Armstrong had done. There were no proceedings in the House to demonstrate as to what the great scientists in the United States had done. But we still welcome the Prime Minister and welcome the government for having taken up this issue to celebrate the achievements of the scientific community. Science is a subject that is so far-reaching that it can change our lives. But to change our lives, we have to think about innovations in science at every level. At one level is what ISRO has done, has been able to achieve to reach the Chandrayaan and the South Pole. But at another level, we have to think about 1.4 billion people in this country and ask ourselves the question, what has science done for them? I remember in government, when I was the minister, we started a project called Project 800. That Project 800 dealt with 800 million people who almost live at the poverty line. I asked my scientific community, why do our rickshaw pullers have to pull rickshaws? Because for the kind of gasping that it results in, most of them get TB. And when they get TB, their lives are shortened. Why can't you think of a solution by which they don't have to drive a rickshaw? You may reach the moon. You may reach the stars. You may research the skies. But what you need to do is look after people on the ground. And what happened, sir? We invented something called the Sulekshaw. Now you have, through technology, people don't have to pull weight behind the rickshaw. That is what we were able to do. I also told them, I said, look at the coolies in the railway station.
Sir, and look
they have
through
to
the chair.
they have to carry weight. Why should they have to carry weight? Why can't we find solutions for them? Look at the way we treat our dead, the corpses, the way we carry them in the vans, and then we try to offload them. Why can't we have a scientific solution for them? I talked about doing research for common people, for planning, for things that will improve the lives of common people. And sir, one of the problems that we have, and the minister knows it, the kind of funding that we do in research is so minimal that we won't be able to find those solutions. You may, sir, reach man on the moon, but what you have to deal with is man on the ground. May I tell you, sir, one little thing? Sir, nobody had ever gone to the Antarctica. I decided one day that let's go to the Antarctica and see what's happening on the ground there. When we reached there, sir, I cannot even explain to you the inhuman conditions in which our scientists were living. Absolutely inhuman conditions. The result was that 6 months in a year, they have to be in these closed rooms. And by the time they came out during summer, most of them had lost their minds. They came back as broken souls. Why? Because there was no communication with their families and the rest of the world. There were no toilets, sir. When the minister went there, there was no toilet to go to. You can't imagine how we dealt with it. I changed all that. The minister will not talk about it. We changed all that. We brought information technology. Now, sir, no. We established the Himadri station. Through information technology, through satellites, they talk to their families every weekend. We have provided entertainment to them. We provide movies to them today. Why? Because science and technology must bring solutions for ordinary people in this country. Sir, and may I tell you another thing, sir? In research, the total research funding that we have in this country is about $50–60 billion. Do you know, sir, how much China spends in R&D? $560 billion every year. How can we compete with them? We may reach a man to the moon. So it's a great thing what ISRO has done. And I think we all must celebrate it. But there are miles to go before we sleep. And it is no need to congratulate ourselves for man reaching on the moon. We will congratulate you. We will call a special session of this House when you solve the problems of the people of this country to technology. May I tell you, sir, something very interesting? I set up a system, and because of our Prime Minister, we set up this system near Delhi Gate. I told them through science and technology, without going to any house, we can find out what unauthorized construction has taken place. I actually took them to that place and showed them every morning the kind of unauthorized construction that was taking place. That project is still there, but nobody goes there because nobody wants to deal with unauthorized construction. Please. I informed them that we can actually decide what is the amount of house tax that can be paid without visiting the house.
Please conclude.
So, there are fabulous things that science has done for the common people of this country which are not being talked about today. I want to inform the House. I don't mind sitting down now. I have no problems with that. But I just want to tell you that it is time for people to realize it is, kindly sir, you know very well that we brought out the tsunami system, which is the most modern in the world. In 120 days, we set it up. It's the most modern tsunami warning system in the world. And everybody appreciates it. We did it during our time. So we must congratulate you for what you have done. But remember, it's not enough. It's not enough to congratulate yourselves. It's not enough to congratulate. The only thing...
Sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Sir, normally... One second. Okay. 1 minute. 1 minute. Please, it will start.
You are in a hurry.
Yes,
thank you very much.
There, sir.
Thank you very much. Maybe on another
1 minute,
day,
sir.
Another day you will let me speak. Thank you very much.
No, Mr. Sibal, you can take 1 minute. Your mic is on.
So what I was saying was in agriculture, we set up a system through which we can find out the moisture in the soil. We can inform the agriculturalists as to when the rain is going to come, when this particular plot of land doesn't have enough moisture so that the agriculturalists can actually access water. We were able to tell fishermen as to when the chlorophyll in the ocean was enough for fish to come so that they didn't go and fish. We were able to tell the fishermen of this country the warning systems as to when it's going to happen. We, in fact, the entire climate system was in analog mode. We changed it all to digital mode. So the kind of things that have happened in this country are so great that we must celebrate science on a daily basis. And so the last thing that I want to say, and that is this, sir, not only this, we have actually in the biotechnology sector done so many milestones that we have achieved in this country. But people don't talk about that because people want to use this forum as a forum to pat themselves on the back. Thank you very much.
Shri Prakash Javadekar.
सर कितना समय है मेरा? चलो
प्रकाश जावड़ेकर जी, बड़ी कोशिश की, आपका समय तो नहीं बता सकता,
नहीं,
पर आपके पार्टिसिपेशन का समय 15 मिनट है।
सभापति महोदय, मैं बहुत आपका शुक्रगुजार हूं कि मैं आपने परमिशन दी है। और 2 दिन पहले जब हमारा चर्चा हुई थी तब मैं उस समय मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन या मिस कम्युनिकेशन के कारण नहीं आ पाया था। पहले तो आप जैसे सबके साथ मैं जो चंद्रमा पे हमारा चंद्रयान गया उसका जो देश में खुशी है उसमें सहभागी हूं। और सब वैज्ञानिक जिन्होंने स्पेस साइंस की शुरुआत की भारत में, विक्रम साराभाई से लेकर, क्योंकि आप नेहरू बोलोगे तो फिर मोदी बोलना पड़ता, तो आप एक तय करो, वैज्ञानिकों की बात करनी है ना, तो मैं वही कर रहा हूं।
प्लीज प्लीज
तो सारा एक मिनट,
मिस्टर जावड़ेकर एड्रेस चेयर,
सारा भाई से,
प्लीज
सारा भाई जी,
प्लीज प्लीज मैडम, प्लीज 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 Honorable LOP, please take your chair. Nothing is going on record. Nothing is going on record. Mr. Javadekar, you address chair. You address chair.
ऐसा है कि ये एक बड़ा माइलस्टोन है, क्योंकि कपिल सिब्बल जी ने अभी कहा कितनी तरक्की बायोटेक्नोलॉजी से लेकर हर क्षेत्र में हुई है। और मैं उनको आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं कि सारी नए प्रयोग और जो भी आज तक भारत ने हासिल किया है उसका देश के तरक्की के लिए उपयोग हो रहा है। सरकार बदलते ही पुराने टेक्नोलॉजी हो गई ऐसा फेंक नहीं देते, उल्टा आगे बढ़ाते हैं। तो ये हमारा दृष्टि है। मैं तो सबको कहूंगा कि रॉकेटरी सिनेमा है वो देखो, बहुत अच्छी मूवी है। और उसमें भारत में एटम बम कैसे बना और ये कैसे बना, रॉकेट कैसे शुरू हुए, ये सब कहानी है, बहुत अच्छी तरीके से रखी है। उनको दिक्कतें क्या आई वो भी उसमें दिखता है। लेकिन भाभाजी हो, साराभाई, कलाम, चिटनीस, धवन, सबके प्रति देश शुक्रगुजार हमेशा रहेगा, क्योंकि इन्होंने देश का नाम रोशन किया है। और कोई बोल रहा था कि उनको तनख्वाह कम मिलती है, कम तनख्वाह मिलने के बावजूद भी देश के प्रेम से आर के धवन वापस आए थे, सतीश धवन, यह हमें कभी भूलना नहीं चाहिए, उनका हमें ज्यादा शुक्रगुजार रहना चाहिए। आज हमारे यहां ऐसी बीच में राजनीतिक नोकझोंक हुई, दुनिया में क्या रिएक्शन है? आज आपने भी सुबह सबका पढ़ा होगा, सबने, नवाज शरीफ कह रहे हैं कि पाकिस्तान कहीं नहीं और भारत तो चंद्रमा पे भी गया। ये उनका दुख है, ये उनका आज भारत का हासिल है। हमें गौरव होना चाहिए, हमें गौरव होना चाहिए। एक मिनट, ये उपग्रह छोड़ना यानी उपग्रहों को लॉन्च करना दूसरे देशों के भी या किसी के भी, लेकिन अपने जो इच्छित स्थल है वहां उसको लॉन्च करना, रखना, ये काम में हमने महारत हासिल की। अगर अमेरिका, ब्रिटेन और फ्रांस ऐसे सारे देश हमारे यहाँ आकर होते तो हमें खुशी होनी चाहिए ना, इसमें दुख की क्या बात है, इसमें विवाद का क्या बात है। मैं आपको एक, खरगे जी आपको अच्छा लगेगा ये, कि पूना में एक बार एक ऑल पार्टी या सरकारी कोई कार्यक्रम था, कांग्रेस के मंत्री थे रामकृष्ण मौर्य, वो बोल रहे थे और बाद में अटल जी बोले। तो अटल जी ने ये कहा कि हम कभी ऐसा नहीं कहते कि कुछ नहीं हुआ आपके जमाने में, आपके जमाने में कुछ नहीं हुआ ऐसा हम नहीं कहते, लेकिन जितना और जैसे होना चाहिए था वैसा नहीं हुआ ये हम कहते थे। और इसलिए नहीं, मोदी जी एकमात्र प्रधानमंत्री है कि जो बार बार लाल किले के प्राचीर से लाल किले के प्राचीर से भी कहते हैं कि हर प्रधानमंत्री ने अच्छा काम किया है, हर प्रधानमंत्री ने काम किया है देश के लिए। ये मोदी जी कहते हैं। मुझे ये बताइए, एक मिनट, एक प्रधानमंत्री म्यूजियम निकला है, तैयार हुआ, वहां इंदिरा जी का, नेहरू जी का, वहां राजीव गांधी का, सब नहीं उसके पीछे है। आपने गए ही नहीं, आप गए ही नहीं तो क्या करेंगे? आप जाइए, लेकिन मुझे यह बताइए कि आपने ऐसा कभी सोचा था कि सभी प्रधानमंत्रियों का कोई म्यूजियम होगा और उसमें अटल जी का और बाकियों का भी लगेगा? नहीं करेंगे, नहीं किया। और मैं आगे बताता हूं, और आगे बताता हूं, ये एक मन की उदारता होनी चाहिए। मैं नरसिंह राव की याद नहीं कराऊंगा, नरसिंह राव की याद नहीं कराऊंगा, आपको मालूम है। लेकिन अगर बड़ी चीज होती है तो देश का लीडर कौन है ये बोलते ही है, तो उसमें लोग बोलते हैं, अपन बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है। लेकिन मैं दूसरे पक्ष पे आता हूं कि मूल मुद्दा है जो संजीव पाठक ने भी बोला और जो कपिल सिब्बल जी ने भी अभी बोला कि भाई इनोवेशन, वी लैक इन इनोवेशन, वी हैव टू टेक इनोवेशन मच फर्दर। देश आगे बढ़ता है इनोवेशन से, जो संपत्ति तैयार होती है वो। जो आईफोन के निर्माता है स्टीव जॉब्स, उसके साथ मैं 2 दिन था, उस समय आईफोन नहीं निकला था। उसने हाथ में दिखाकर जैसा हैंड हेल्ड पकड़ा है ऐसा बताकर, मैं ऐसा हैंड हेल्ड तैयार करूंगा कि जो मल्टी यूज के लिए होगा और सारी दुनिया बदल जाएगी, वे ऑफ कम्युनिकेटिंग, ये उसने बताया। और बाद में आईफोन आया और हमने देखा कितना परिवर्तन हुआ। लेकिन और इनोवेशन का मैंने कहा एक बार कि आईफोन के सारे जो पार्ट्स है उसकी कीमत अगर लगाएंगे तो 10, ये मोबाइल में है राजीव जी, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट ऑफ दोज प्रोडक्ट्स मे नॉट बी मोर देन 15-20,000 जो रॉ मटेरियल है सब, लेकिन उसमें उपयोगिता आई तो 1 लाख रुपए का हो गया। तो दिस इज द वेल्थ जनरेटेड बाय इनोवेशन। तो इनोवेशन का सम्मान होना चाहिए। आज जो हम प्रस्ताव लाए हैं वो इनोवेशन का सम्मान करने के लिए है, साइंटिस्टों को मुबारक करने के लिए है, इसलिए ये है। और इसलिए अभी 1 मिनट मैं बता रहा हूं, अभी खरगे जी गए लेकिन चिदम्बरम भी आज नहीं है। चिदम्बरम जी कहते थे कि भाई ये मोबाइल से पेमेंट होगा, मोबाइल से ऐसा होगा, कैसे होगा? ग्रामीण, जैसे कल खरगे जी बोल रहे थे बैकवर्ड क्लास की महिला अनपढ़ है। अरे किसने कहा? अच्छा पढ़ते, 1 मिनट
प्लीज स्पीक ऑन द सब्जेक्ट प्लीज।
उनका अपमान मत करो।
प्लीज
वो स्कूल में जाते हैं।
जावड़ेकर जी प्लीज सब्जेक्ट पे बोलिए आप।
तो वो स्कूल में जाते, कॉलेज में जाते, पढ़ना चाहते, आगे बढ़ना चाहते। सवाल है कि ये लोगों को कैसे समझेगा, ऐसा बोलते थे। लेकिन आज अमेरिका से हमारे कोई दोस्त आते हैं तो बाजार में जाने के बाद सबसे अचंभा करते हैं कि कोई कार्ड से पेमेंट ही नहीं कर रहा है, कोई कार्ड लेकर एटीएम में जा ही नहीं रहा है, सभी मोबाइल से ही पेमेंट कर रहे हैं। ये दुनिया में कहीं नहीं जो भारत में हो रहा है। तो ये साइंस है, ये हमारी उपलब्धि है, देश करके है, सबकी है। और सबको बढ़ते हुए भारत को प्रोत्साहन देना चाहिए, समर्थन देना चाहिए, ये मेरा आग्रह है। मैं 2-3 ये कैसे इनोवेशन बढ़ेगा, तो मैं शिक्षा मंत्री था तब मैंने एक कल्पना आई, हैकेथॉन शुरू किया इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज के लिए कि 6 इंजीनियरिंग के स्टूडेंट इकट्ठा बैठेंगे। हमने जिसका सॉल्यूशन नहीं हुआ है ऐसे 500 सवाल उनके लिए दिए और इसमें से कोई भी सवाल चुनकर उस पर जरा 3-4 महीने एफर्ट करे, शोध करे, आइडियाज लड़ाए और उसके तरह से आपका सॉल्यूशन पेश करे, कोड पेश करे। इस तरह का पहले वर्ष में हमने किया। 40,000 इंजीनियरिंग छात्रों ने भाग लिया और मुझे अच्छा लगा कि अब 8 साल हो गए। 8 साल में ये संख्या 5 लाख से भी अधिक हो गई। इतने छात्र हर साल करते हैं। वो ये सही शिक्षा है, ये शोध की संस्था है, ये शोध का संस्कार है। इससे ही देश आगे बढ़ेगा। इससे आगे जाकर सभी IITs में और NITs में हमने इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर शुरू किए। इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर में आज इंडस्ट्री, यूनिवर्सिटी एंड मुझे एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट्स एंड स्टूडेंट्स सब इकट्ठा आ रहे। और देश के लैब्स जो है, पहले क्या होता था, लैब्स अलग, इंडस्ट्री अलग, यूनिवर्सिटीज अलग, हमने तीनों को जोड़ दिया और उसके कारण एक शोध का माहौल बना। इससे कारण ये इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर में सैकड़ों नए प्रयोग केवल नहीं हो रहे, बहुत अच्छे शोध, पेटेंट लग रहे हैं। पहले तो पेटेंट मिलने को भी 4-4 साल लगते थे, अब 4 महीने में पेटेंट मिलता है। ये बदलाव करके दिखाए। ग्रैंड चैलेंज हुआ और जिस नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी का मुझे भाग्य रहा कि 2 साल जो तैयारी उसकी हुई और जो तैयार हुई पॉलिसी, उसका आखिरी मुझे कस्तूररंगन जी ने कॉपी सौंपी। फिर दूसरे दिन मेरा पर्यावरण मंत्री में था। तो इसलिए ये नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी एक बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि है। नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी यह हमें है। आज आपको पता नहीं होगा कि इसरो और DRDO की टेक्नोलॉजी कहाँ कहाँ उपयोग आती है। समुद्र में जो मच्छी के व्यवसाय के लिए जो जाते हैं मछुआरे, तो उनको लिए नेविगेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। नाउ विद द सैटेलाइट दे हैव द फोन एंड दे कैन रिसीव ऑल सिग्नल्स एंड दे गेट द करेक्ट डायरेक्शन। ये हो रहा है, इसरो का शोध है। आज कॉलेजेस के इंस्पेक्शन के लिए हमारे अनेक इंस्पेक्शन की ये बनती थी 4-4, 5-5 प्राध्यापकों की या शिक्षाविदों की, और वो सब जगह जाते थे। सब बंद किया और अभी 1 मिनट सब बंद हुआ। और ये हुआ कि अब इसरो के और DRDO के जो अच्छा शोध हुआ उसका उपयोग करके हम आज इंस्पेक्शन यही बैठ के 5 लोग कर सकते हैं और उसमें कोई हेराफेरी नहीं कर सकता।
तो साइंस, 1 मिनट, साइंस का मैं बताता हूं, साइंस का
while sitting do not comment, this is not fair.
साइंस का उपयोग
no please,
केवल साइंस का उपयोग एक क्षेत्र में नहीं होता। एक विज्ञान जब तैयार होता है तो अनेक क्षेत्रों में उपयोग होता है। और इसलिए ये समझना पड़ेगा कि हमें भी ये सही बोलना पड़ेगा कि अगर हम एक काल में प्रधानमंत्री का नाम लेंगे और दूसरे में नहीं लेंगे, ऐसा तो नहीं होगा। तो प्रधानमंत्री देश का एक प्रतिनिधि होता है, जनता ने चुना हुआ 140 करोड़ लोगों ने विश्वास दिया हुआ प्रतिनिधि है, उसका नाम नहीं लेंगे, ऐसा कैसा होता? क्योंकि उन्होंने सपोर्ट दिया, जिसका वर्णन जितेंद्र सिंह जी ने बहुत डिटेल में किया है। और इसलिए साइंटिफिक, और वो हमें एक ही बात कहते थे कि नई शिक्षा, ये जो शिक्षा नीति बना रहे, इसमें साइंटिफिक टेम्पर कैसे तैयार होगा वही तैयार करना है, और वही आज हुआ है। देखिए उसके नतीजे, भारत आने वाले 10 साल में बहुत आगे बढ़ेगा और विश्व की तीसरी अर्थव्यवस्था बनेगा। इतना ही मैं विश्वास व्यक्त करता हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद माननीय जावड़ेकर जी।